I'm bang, Gucci Wally, what's happening? Ghetto gospel, I'm in the streets going plat. Worth a mill, what's happening? Catch me styling the sack. Inside bags and bitches got my hoe speaking loud. Giving the gab, Jimmy choosing the trunk. Checking the blade with the rice on thumb. Crew block party, bet that shit gon' jump. We make it jump. We run the Jeep and them niggas a buck. Joe in the Ville, AJ in the cut. Big shit get the back, and while we turning shit up. Hey, this how we live, not giving a fuck. Fast cash, making money, dancing and such. Flash on, snapping when I step on the scene. Don't stop clapping, ho, they throwing the green. Dang, left hand slapping when I'm checking the trick. Check a what? The Holy Mac, we having church in this bitch. I'm working the bitch. You heard in the bitch. What's happening?
Niggas saving these hoes, nigga, we're so stand.
I'm banking the hoe. You thanking the hoe. What's happening?
And niggas talking pimpin', but they using fucking mayonnaise.
I'm working the bitch. You heard in the bitch. What's happening?
Nigga, the streets is done.
I'm banking the hoe. You thanking the hoe. What's happening?
Sick of you niggas.
Hey, baby, just do what you told. Walk into that room, shut your mouth, take off your clothes. Bitches taking souls, they just bend and touch their toes. To this shit I've been exposed, and these skinny ripped jeans. It's just me and all my woes. I don't save shit unless it's money, I'm on the same shit. Wake up some mornings, it ain't the same bitch. Still stuck in the same clip. Up for 2 days, stuck in the same fit. Moving like Jordan when he had game 6. Bitch called all the lame shit. We just need that paper by the weekend. That little bitch keep tweaking. She be steady falling in. Might go off the deep end. Eyes get full up, she was reaching. I don't trust it, I don't cuff it. Need some game, bitch, I can teach it.
Ooh, you know what it is, bitch. I'm here to teach, not preach. I need the motherfucking lips on your face and below your waist. Now let's motherfucking make this thing shake. Church.
Back in the days, just get paid for thugging. But now we paying bitches cause it's game enough. The pound game. Me and these niggas ain't the same, be bluffing. Short pocket, shorty plus his chains be hugging. The showstopper got the eyes on me. I pull up on your block, I bet the trick won't three. The bitch shows me, your bitch OD. You phony pimps need be 6 feet deep.
That's that work right there. What's going on, Port? What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's happening, brother, man? Long time no chat.
Indeed, man, indeed.
No, since I asked you about that song, man, I probably listened to that joint about 20 times today, bro.
Yeah, that joint the truth though, man. Make sure this background tune don't really drown us out. Yeah, man.
You can hear me smoothly?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
All right.
Yeah, man. This is a very interesting, I would say, topic. In many ways, and it actually correlates with a couple things you have said in the past. The one piece you had mentioned, you said, a female would rather be, a simp's god, versus, a king's queen,
Yep. Why was she rather? I remember that one. I was an oldie right there. Oh, why be a queen to a king when you could be a god to a simp?
Exactly.
And that's the mindset of 90%. If we talking about sisters in the West, for a lot of reasons, man. Part of it being those curses too.
Oh yeah. curse in the garden, you know, biting into the fruit of the deceit, you know, with the idea or under the guise that you can basically be more than what you actually are, and being out of your role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then, you know, with the other things that take place, I mean, a lot of these, you know, women are into like witchcraft, you know, and whatnot. You know, that's another thing.
That's popular right now. The witchcraft, the whole you're the black goddess and all this. Like I said, it goes back to the Eden of women not wanting to be under submission. For some
Mm-hmm.
reason, it's something that riles up their spirit
Mm-hmm.
for them to be underneath at least a black man. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these sisters, they would gladly put on the mask of femininity to be under other nations.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy about that is that it seems like every other nation of women can see the God in a black man,
Mm-hmm.
but the black woman sees it in the white man. Meaning, when the black woman in America looks at, to her, the most supreme alpha is the white man. But because
Mm-hmm.
the white woman is used to dealing with the white man, she doesn't view him that way. So most of the white women I know view black men as superior because they know the reality of the white man, and they find him to be inferior in his own mind to
Mm-hmm.
us. So the insecurities, they see that. But the sister doesn't see the insecurities the white man has because she sees the system, not the man itself.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to us, she sees the man, but not the role of the system that keeps the man down. So therefore, that's why they don't feel like we're worthy enough to be in submission up under, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So do you really see, as far as like with the school of thought, if there is, that they're really no different from the white man as far as um, what's been embedded in them, you know, since the you know, the beginning of civilization, you know, in these, you know, United States of America?
No difference at all. No
Mm,
difference at all. Because when you look at their programming was created by him. When you
mm,
look at the Willie Lynch programming and just the slavery, big mama's house type programming that
mm,
most of the black women have, to be the one who is inside the house
mm,
and overseeing the black
mm,
men and the black boys, that nothing has, they view him the same way. And that's why I used to say, I stopped saying it a lot, but that the black woman was the Willie Lynch hound, meaning she's the official dog that the white man releases to
oh
keep
yeah.
everybody in check, to catch the runaway slaves, the runaway niggas who might have a free thought.
Mm,
The Willie Lynch hound. She sniffs out any brother who's a free thinker and will turn his
mm,
ass to the system in a millisecond.
mm.
And nothing has changed because it's the same shit since slavery, man. And I'm willing to say it's even worse now
Oh
because
yeah.
now they got money in fucking positions of power.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's what I was telling some of my youngins. They laugh when I say this, although it's true. Um, I said, you know, as far as, you know, how you carry yourself through the commanding aspect, you're supposed to scare the masculinity out of her black ass. In a sense, kind of like how, like, you know, you see a dude riding dirty and there's a narc following him and he's got to move the dope out the car. It's kind of like how the woman should be. She be just remove that bullshit from her. Like, she should be like, she should just look in your eyes and see nothing but radical intensity.
Right. I agree. I think in any relationship, whether it's a coworker, you're the
Mm-hmm.
boss, it's your daughter, there
Mm-hmm.
needs to be a sense of fear
Mm-hmm.
um, for who you are. But the problem with most of these guys these days that are more emotional and raised by these single mothers is that what scares, see, the woman rules the emotional realm.
Mm-hmm.
And when she can bring a guy into that realm, she has no fear because she controls that. It's all predictable. She knows how to win in that. No man can beat a woman in emotional when it comes to emotional warfare.
Mm-hmm.
But when we can maintain our frame and be logical as a masculine man should be order instead of chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and we force her to stay into that, because eventually if she's trying to be emotional and bring you into it and you're not going,
Mm-hmm.
eventually she's gonna realize, shit, this ain't gonna work. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to as Pimp God says, you have to hold her accountable to being treated as an adult and dealing with her as an adult, because they'll take the
Absolutely.
childlike approach. And when you do that, she's gonna have no choice but to feel you, because she's not comfortable in that realm. So really
Mm-hmm.
it starts with the man not being on the
Absolutely.
emotional shit.
Absolutely. I believe it's about management as well as being, but first you got to be able to manage yourself and manage your own emotional framework and be aware of it. Is what they, call the EQ thing. Understanding that and understanding why you shouldn't entertain, certain things. See, what's going on now, what I see is that there's guys that are out of position and there's women that are out of position based on that piece that you just said, the emotions. Because instead of the man having the woman to be emotional, creating the emotions in her, right? It's the other way around. He's going through the roller coaster. He's becoming the parrot, and it should be the
Mm,
other way around.
that's facts. That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about when you said management,
Mm-hmm.
that those two go together, because as you said, the man is the one now who's on the roller coaster. When it comes to managing a woman, I realized that a lot of times just me being who I was, which
Mm-hmm.
was an asshole, selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and just get caring about myself and relationships,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up putting the woman through a roller coaster with her
Mm-hmm.
feelings, because
Mm-hmm.
I would snap on her 1 minute, I'd be nonchalant and indifferent the other minute. If I was cheating, I'd be distant, and then when I'm feel bad for cheating, then I'm right back all lovey dovey on her and giving her attention. So these things, just me being a natural asshole,
Mm-hmm.
was creating the emotional roller coaster, and that's the high that the woman like. So
Mm-hmm.
when guys talk about management, part of that, if you are not, some guys naturally do it. That's why women, the man that they're crazy about, they usually say, "Oh, he was an asshole, he was a jackass, and this and that." That was the one. You never hear a woman who was deeply in love with a dude saying, "Oh, he was a nice guy." No, it
Yep.
was never that. It's always he's a fucking asshole. He's a narcissist. I can't stand him, but I
Mm-hmm.
love him,
Mm-hmm.
because he's manipulating those emotions, and those emotions are going crazy inside of her. It's like a roller coaster that just goes straight in a circle at 5 miles an hour. That's boring as shit. Nobody at our age is gonna get on what do you call that, horse shit that just goes in a circle,
Exactly.
because that's
Exactly.
boring. You want the thing that's gonna have dips and you can't see what's going on, and big surprises, and change of speed. And that's what the woman wants, because she's a creature of feelings, and to
Mm.
stimulate those feelings, man, that's a high for her. So when you talk about management, guys need to understand that they need to either be doing it on purpose or naturally, just because they're an assholes
Mm-hmm.
with that woman. When you're not chasing her, when you have the dynamic of you're the prize, you're automatically going to create those emotional roller coaster emotions in her.
Absolutely. And and you got to look at it like this. It's just how, see, a lot of guys see the thing about, with value and so forth. Women see value based on this. If I can't eat it, if I can't sit on it, and if I can't spin it, it has no value to me. So you have to kind of get over that aspect. You know,
Hmm.
you have to look at it in a sense that she's not going to basically appreciate, you know, your quality of masculinity, your quality of intelligence in a way that it should. But what you can do, you can guide her into the space. That's another thing I think guys make the mistake, because, just to say, like, the black female is the nigger god. What I mean by that is because they deify this woman. They worship her, one way or another. They either pandering her or they're complaining about her. You know, what this message is about is not doing either or. Is dealing with her according to her behavior, and her behavior is based on how she's receptive to what you have going on. If she's into you, she's going to be into you. If she says she's fucking with you, she's got to be, fucking with whatever you're into. Like this one young lady said to me, a while ago. She said, I want to be a wife. Basically insinuating the idea. See, this is my role to insinuate, right? So she says, to be, a wife. So I said, do you want to be a wife or do you want to be my wife? You can't be, my wife and a bitch at the same time.
Right.
Now, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Unpack that, bringing them into it, though.
Bringing them into it is basically bringing them into your conversation. It's like you're bringing them into it. You're basically opposing questions that are actually embedded commands that's leading them into it. So you're commanding the answer for them. It's like whereas though if they don't have the answer, right? What do? They go back when they're programming, and their programming is handed to from previous situations, through their grandmothers, through bad advice, to their stupid girlfriends, right? So
Right.
once they're there, you take them away from that and you bring them into your space. So now they're like, well, okay, well, damn, it's kind of like the unknown, the unforeseen. It's just like you're creating the emotions. You're bringing them into a place they've never been before, just within the dialogue. And then, okay,
Mm,
so what do I do? So then you pull them in. This is how you do it. You don't correct them. You guide them into what you want them to be into.
got you. Got you. That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something a lot of guys are not really capable of doing
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason it may be, but they just don't. As you might have heard the drops I did today, just speaking about guys having discernment and being able to see who, first of all, who they are,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to see what that woman needs to be as well. Because there's three things that a woman wants. She wants a guy who knows who he is, a
Mm-hmm.
guy who knows who she is, and a
Mm-hmm.
guy who knows what he wants for her to do, a plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And guys don't have neither one of those.
Shit.
Neither
It,
one.
yo, what's dope about it is that's what I've been speaking on. The same thing. Like I said, like I don't have a game. I have a game plan. And guys spend too much time trying to study female nature instead of understanding their own nature. Remember, I said the first woman you have to break is not the anatomical woman; it's your mind.
Hmm.
You have to break. You have to break your mind. And I remember you told me a story about how you had to basically, how you red pilled yourself.
Hmm.
How you basically had to break your mind. It's very similar to how I had to do. Um, a situation with my it was a young lady. I let my brother smash. I caught feelings for her, but I let my brother smash to kind of break my mind.
That's
That
savage right there. But that's what it is. That's what
Mhm,
that once you do that, you elevate in a level that most people are not, and they most guys need that type of whether life hands it to you or whether you do it on your own. They need that, man, because
mhm,
that's what makes you step up to the next level, and it just takes your brain into hyperflight mode, and you just elevate, man. It's hard to explain it, but
mhm,
once that was over and you start to look at things with clarity,
mhm.
it ain't even no pressure anymore.
Absolutely. It's kind of like that other piece you said. We had spoken it before about having the power, having the inner strength to change a woman's God, and I've you know played with that. Um, in regards to looking at it like this, it's kind of you have to look at it like this. It's kind of like you're the potter's hand, right? Your conversation and how you basically facilitate things is kind of like the potter's hand. You're molding her understanding. If you look at the groove, right? If you look at it with women's mind, it has more so like a musical thing, right? So you're riding the groove. So you're creating the tune in her mind. You're getting her to ride the groove to your understanding, right? You're bringing her into, your truth. You're bringing her into your way.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do that, I mean, the key thing is you got to basically know your truth, and you got to know your way of life. It's one thing, what, women say, I need a provider, protector, whatever like that. Or a guy's making a way, but what about a guy that has his own way and is creating a way that is a way, and you guide her into
Right.
that?
Right. And
What's going on?
that's the vision.
Indeed.
That's the vision we speak about. A lot of guys don't have that. And see, I discovered, not to say discovered, but as you know, I talk about the Jack Dawson thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I, just reflect on it. And as I reflect on it, I realized, not Jack Dawson, sorry, Trinity,
Mm-hmm.
that Trinity was really no different than any of the other bitches out here.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that she wasn't some perfect woman, but it just so happened that the vision that she had was the vision that Neo was following. So it wasn't even that it was his vision. It was really Morpheus' vision. And he put both of them on it. So the only reason why she was so loyal to Neo and operated the way she did is because they both shared the same vision. Now, had Neo say, you know what, I want to go back in the Matrix, I'm tired of this, you think Trinity would have came?
Nope.
Exactly. So really, she wasn't no different than any other bitch,
Mm-hmm.
which tells us that at the end of the day, your vision comes first when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to dealing with anybody, whether it be your family, your children, whatever. Your vision comes first because you only live this life one time. But if you are going to look for a woman, the best chances for cooperation is going to be a woman who also has the same vision as you before you gave it to her. Because you can give a woman a vision and she'll love it and she'll go for it. But it's even better when your vision is the same. And it's like you ever watch these Animal Planet shows and they got these weird ass white folks
Yeah.
who went to college to study some fucking ants or whales or some shit? You're like, yo, they went to college for that shit, and they're both
Yeah.
married to each other, but their passion is studying some ants or studying whales in Alaska. That's what they live and die for. That's what they dedicated their whole careers to. So that's their vision, and they have a fucking perfect marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas us, just separate careers and trying to get status and all that are going through hell, not having cooperation, this and that, because she got a different vision.
Mm-hmm. And the reason to that, because they have more so the liberal, feminist perspective. Like, whereas though, white women use it as a hustle, like the black women have been indoctrinated by that and have, carried it out. To whereas though that's all they really know.
Mm.
And this is also the thing what I've noticed with you would say black American women versus West Indian women. What they have in common with other races of women, they have culture. Jamaican woman has culture, a Haitian woman has culture, a beige woman has culture, and so forth. um, so you can basically communicate certain things based on that, and they understand it. They understand um you know based on where our we came from, the islands and shit like that, so it's more of a feudal system. you know it was ran
Right.
differently. You know what I mean?
That's key right there, bro. The culture is everything. And I've talked about that. And trust me, I'll be the first one 5 years ago to say anybody doing with a non-black is a coon. But as I
Hmm.
look at it more and more,
Hmm.
I'm to the point where it's like Arabic, Asian, and Indian. Why? Not because of the women, the looks, or anything. It just comes down to the culture.
Hmm.
If there is no culture or history of consistent culture, she's pretty much no good. You can't do anything with her because, like you said, American culture is nigger culture,
Exactly.
and if
Yeah.
that's all she knows, you can't even get mad for her. 'Cause that's it. That's her programming.
Hmm. See, where I'm not upset about that, but the thing is where it it becomes a bit of an irritant, as whereas though they stay there. Once it's presented to you, once you're guided to the space that, whereas, okay, the way you think and feel is actually wrong. It's an error. Are you willing to change? They don't want to change because it's a maturity thing, you know. And unfortunately, with a lot of them, they don't really evolve. They actually regress as they get older. They're not wiser. They're actually more defensive based on the stupid decisions that they make along the way.
Right, right, and that, like you said, that's the problem, that you're not, when you recognize these things, like brothers like me and you, we have to self actualize to grow.
Hmm.
We've done our nigga shit, we've done our fuckery,
Yeah.
but with knowledge, because we're the type of dudes that thrive off of knowledge.
Hmm.
So as you get this knowledge, you begin to advance and just change the way you think and all that. And if you're with somebody who's not able to do that,
Hmm.
it's gonna be problematic, because it's nothing attractive about a woman that's just staying at the same exact level, especially when you're becoming a god on earth in your own right. You literally transforming from a peasant to a king to a god, and she's comfortable with
Hmm.
being a peasant and staying there. That's gonna be a problem.
Hmm.
Now, to go furthermore in this system, when you graduate from a peasant to a god in the mind, and she
Hmm.
stays at the peasant, but she has the power of a king, that's going to be a problem, because she
Hmm.
can take down your kingdom as a peasant with
Hmm.
no actual hierarchy or any shit like that. And that's where the problem begins, and not why I say brothers need to avoid them,
Hmm.
in my opinion, because it's too problematic.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Because even if they walk in agreement, it's more so it's theater. And in some cases, it's good theater. Good theater leads to marriage, leads to kids, and then booyah, April Fools. you know.
Unfortunately,
Hmm.
unfortunately, and it's like
Hmm.
women get married for the divorce too. The guys need to understand that they have this mindset. Oh, she changed and she just got unhappy. No,
Hmm.
marriage is a business.
Hmm.
Every business is an investment.
Hmm.
Every investment requires a return on investment.
Hmm.
Nobody invests money into a stocks and just say fuck it. I don't care whether it goes up or down and let it go. No, they're all looking to get return on investment. And when guys are truly kings or gods on earth,
Hmm.
they marry and choose partners like the royalty and elites do. It's not based off the body, it's based off the power and the asset that
Hmm.
she can bring to you. If she can be an asset to you, not just about ass, but
Hmm.
an asset.
Exactly.
And I'm
Is
to the
it?
point now where it's like, if I'm gonna marry a woman,
Hmm.
she's gonna have multiple languages on her belt, and she's gonna have multiple passports. So I'm getting access to the countries that she already has access to. Other than that, I
Hmm.
really don't see the purpose. And so that's going to eliminate most black women right there, especially American ones.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my thing is about the connections. You know, what hands can you put me in front of to shake to get things done? You know, as you said, it's a business. And that's exactly the way I approach it. It's not about, like, when I was younger, it was about, yeah, it was how she used to swing on the chandelier. Now it's about that was my twist. But see, the thing is, those needs were primal, and as you mature mentally, you realize you have more important dominant needs, because you would look at that need as, a woman being fit to basically be in your life or to be in your space. But as
Right.
you get older, that is the last, that is like fourth or fifth on the list. I can't say as you get older, as you mentally mature, because there's guys that are mature in calendar years but not mature in their mentality. Because when you're mature in your mentality, you're not looking at the woman based on her sexuality, you're looking at her based on your vision. How does she basically appeal to your vision? If you look at the pyramid, right? on each level, there's, you know, a teacher, a pharaoh. So it's kind of like the same thing. So it's another reason why I don't look at settling down, because I'm forever evolving. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago, you know, a year ago, or whatever, because I evolve. You know, the level that I evolve, you know, into, you know, there's a woman there that's basically, you know, there to accommodate whatever need I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just continues.
Right. And any woman that you would have attracted at that level before you 6 months ago is not
Mm-hmm.
worthy enough. And it's we, you know, we talk about, oh, hypergamy and this and that, but
Mm-hmm.
guys should be practicing hypergamy, because at the end of the day, if you're not, that means you're in the same place
Exactly.
and you don't have a vision. As the higher you go, the lower everyone who was at that level with you is and they have to go. Like, it reminds me of a ex of mine. She said, oh, you're the best thing I had. And
Mm.
no, she said, I was the best. You treated me like shit, and I loved you hard, and I'm the best thing you had, and no one was gonna love you like me. And I thought to myself when she said that, as I reflect,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I was cheating, lying, not being a masculine, thorough guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I attracted her, then what does that say about her?
Mm.
Because if I wasn't shit, because I had to realize, then I wasn't shit.
Yeah.
But yet I attracted her. What that says more about her than it does me, actually, when you start to self actualize. So when
Oh
I
yeah.
come from a place of actually being more thorough, not lying, not cheating, just being honest with women and dealing like a man should, what does that say about anybody in my past who was attracted to me and in love with me? You was in love with an inferior guy. So you
Mm-hmm.
wasn't shit. So that speaks on what you say. The higher you go,
Mm-hmm.
the more people have to jump off the train, and they
Absolutely.
can't take that ride with you.
Absolutely. Because the higher you go, the air gets thinner.
Damn, that's a drop. That's a drop.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
That's how
You.
it is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers have to have that standard, and really be trying to elevate themselves and go to new levels and all that stuff. They just, if you're just sitting stagnant, man, it's, I feel bad for you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it's there's so much information out here, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be tricky trying to absorb it all. And
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, if you have discernment, no matter how much information is presented to you, you're gonna find the truth and get to the bottom line of it, because that's what the discernment does. But to not
Absolutely.
access it and just be stuck doing what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of these guys. They marry a woman at 20 years old before they even had the chance to mature into men,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's who they're with, and that ends up crippling them, because now they got divorced and all that other shit, but they're done after that. And it's like, you know, at the point now, I can go a year without sex, 2 years without sex, it doesn't matter to me, you
Mm.
know. But at 20 years old, I couldn't
Yeah.
see it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing is, I've seen it with, you know, a couple of you know, constituents, whereas though they married, you know, early on, and you know, and seeing them now at, you know, at my age, they're frustrated because, you know, she stopped growing then. He was trying to grow and trying to evolve, and he's been frustrated and hitting the wall constantly.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. And especially what makes it worse is, you know, like I was talking to my mom, and she was like, well, your vision changed, and it has. I went from wanting a mansion and fancy cars to just wanting, you know, properties overseas, land overseas. You know, right now I'm looking at some land in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
about 15 acres for like $12,000. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's, yeah, so my mind is different now, and it's continually changing. And my mom was like, well, your vision has changed a whole lot. So
Mm-hmm.
just imagine, had I been with a woman and her vision doesn't upgrade with mine, and now that I want to put money aside and save so I can build, she has an employee mindset, and I have a employer mindset, a business owner mindset. That's going to be problematic. And then you end up divorcing the bitch because she has this different mindset. But now the resources that you had accumulated for you to put forth building, she walks out with her nigga shit mind.
Exactly. You know, that's the key word you said, discernment. And remember with the piece we were talking about, wise the serpent?
Classic. I gotta go listen to that again.
Indeed. I'm gonna post that. But I was telling people, I posed this. I said, what is the difference between being as wise as a serpent versus having the Pablo spirit? Because it's really the same thing. If you think about it.
It is. I never even thought about that, but it really is knowing, balancing the knowledge of good and evil, and taking the risk to be able to deal with that. So being as wise as a serpent, that's knowing the good, that's knowing the bad, that's being balanced, knowing both of it, and that's pretty much what the Pablo is. It's the wise, the serpent is the knowledge of it, and the Pablo spirit is that knowledge being put to action. And it doesn't have to be bad shit. It can be a Pablo mind, and it does a positive thing as well. You know what I'm saying? But when the guys don't, this is why when it comes to, as an Israelite, you know, I sort of get into it with a lot of other ones because they'll only read the Bible. And I'm like, man, you got to read a whole lot more than that to truly understand what's going on in this world. If the scripture says be as wise as a serpent, that's telling you you're not going to elevate to your highest level if you're not aware of what truly goes on in this world from the dark side and the light side.
Absolutely. You have to understand the darkness, you know, in order to really see the light in proper perspective, you know.
Look at some of these comments, man. What is
it's lit.
It said the same thing with Cardi B. She married an inferior. And speaking on the nigga bitch, when we talk about, see, a lot of sisters want to deal with men who are inferior. It comes down to they want to be busy in the world, in the flesh, because they don't want to have a time to look in and self-reflect. And when dealing with the guy who is like what is the nigga name? Quavo, is that his name, or is that somebody else?
No,
or Cardi B.
Offset. One of them niggas, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, him. That nigga. This is the inferior man. This is the 90% fleshly simps. They have no vision. They have no plan. And women like projects like this. Black women specifically, American black women, because when they can focus on that man and sort of, he's a project and let me help him get to where he needs to be because he needs me to feel, they want to feel needed. A black woman needs to feel like, oh, this man worships her. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't have the confidence and the self-esteem and emotional security to be able to be with a guy who is complete. Because a complete guy is not going to ask her to do this and do that, not need to worship her, not need to rely on her. You know, she's just going to simply have to coexist for who she is. But if she doesn't know who she is, she'd rather not focus on that. She'll rather focus on that project man. That's a guy who doesn't know himself, the guy who's not going to lead her, the guy who's going to worship her.
I like to call him the handsome, submissive wallet, per se. He's the guy that's going to basically be all vulnerable with the woman, telling her everything how he feels, so she can control him, because he's really looking for a second mother.
Bingo. And it's not even a mother. And I was about to say shit, and I had to think about that. It's not even a mother that nurtures like their mothers, but when we look at it, most mothers don't even nurture. So they're getting mothering instead of nurturing from their parents and from their woman. So they don't even know what it's like to be nurturing. That's why to me it goes back to the like I say, Arabs, Asian, and Indian culture.
Mm-hmm.
Culture. It comes down to it. There has to be a culture in place to keep that woman in check because American culture is nigger culture.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is if that's all she's running off of, you're not gonna get good results, man. Like I seen this meme a video to on Instagram. A woman went to a restaurant with her dude
Mm-hmm.
and they went out to the club after. But when she was at the restaurant, she packed some. Asked for some extra food, and then
Oh,
she wrapped it up.
I know that hustle.
Yeah, so she wrapped it up in extra food, wrapped the extra food up and put it in her purse. And then when she went to the club, her man was hungry, and she
Mm-hmm.
gave it to him. She put it out of her purse and gave it to him. I'm like, see that shit
Yeah.
most nigga women wouldn't even think about. Like, yeah, I know my man's could be hungry. Let me take care of him before he shouldn't have to say anything. A woman needs to study her man and knows what he wants and what
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just wait till you say, damn, I'm hungry. She's like, well shit, why you ain't grab extra food? Nah, bitch. Your
Mm-hmm.
job, you like that Spanish woman did. She packed extra food. She know her man was gonna be hungry. Or she knows her dude is probably going to be looking for his keys when he wake up at 5 in the morning and go to work. So let me get up out this bed and go find the keys right now at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
before he gets up and have it ready to go at the door. Let me go pack his shit early so he can get some more sleep. Like these are things that because the nigga woman wants to be God, she doesn't think she has to do. You need to do. Why does she have to do that
Mm-hmm.
when she's God?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Big Rich say he just subscribed to you, man. Yeah, that's the truth, man.
Appreciate that, Big Rich.
Good brother. But that's the thing. They want to be worshipped, and not in the sense of they want their loins to be worshipped. They want their immediate feelings or their immediate concerns or their immediate crisis to be worshipped. So then, that guy is going up the roller coaster because, he's getting his glizzy ate. He's, he's running around in circles for nothing because she feels like, okay, all I have to do is basically, give him some sex or whatever like that. And I get him to do whatever, I want. I remember there was a video a long time ago where a woman says, I don't cook or clean or do, any of this other stuff. I give him pussy. That's it.
Yeah, that nigga bitch in London. We was sitting in a group.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I remember that shit. I'll never forget that. And then the rest of them dudes were out there simping and shit. And she was just talking over him. But then when the white man spoke, she got quiet and just listened. I said, yeah, this nigga bitch here. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's what kills me, bro. And that's why I say I can't wait for the collapse. Niggas be think I be bullshitting, dog. I can't wait for that shit because they're gonna realize that pussy ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're in a pussy worshiping culture, and these bitches can be out of pocket because these
Mm-hmm.
niggas are simping. This whole OnlyFans and all this other shit. But once it collapses, bro, things are
Mm-hmm.
gonna get back in order.
Mm-hmm.
And that pussy ain't gonna do nothing. The pussy is gonna actually go from being a bargaining tool to being a burden.
Exactly. And once once a man takes that off the table, because that's really the only trump card they have. Once you
Yeah.
take that off the table, then it's like she's like, well, what do I have to offer then? Okay, now we can have a real conversation. A man has to not be a slave to his loins. If you look at, certain things, um, three things that have in common: God, a billionaire, and a beautiful woman. Right? What they have in common: limited access. You know, if you look at God, right? Can you talk to God all the time? Yeah, you can
Nope.
talk to God all the time. But can he talk? Does he talk back to you?
Nope.
Does he get to be in exactly? So it's kind of like you have to basically manage it in a way to where as though she has to earn every aspect of the access with you, even down to the text messages. You know,
Mm. Is there a method when it comes to you? Is there something like do you consciously and rhythmically keep track of these things, or is it just natural flow to you? Like, okay, that's enough.
yeah, it's a natural flow because it's just like, a lot of times I just don't really feel like being bothered.
That's a drop right there, bro. Because I realize
Mm,
most guys are trying, like with guys who are in our position and we know we're the prize and we're the value, the relationship with other guys is about them entertaining the woman. But
hmm
for us, the relationship is about the woman not annoying us. It's a
Yeah.
forever battle of the bitch not annoying us. And you even have to tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, teach them how to not annoy you.
Yes.
And that's the one thing I notice about guys who are in position and dominant positions with the
hmm
woman. They're because automatically the woman's going to be annoying because she's a burden against your vision. Automatically,
Exactly.
it doesn't matter how good she is. So
hmm
that's if you're focused on your shit,
hmm
that's the dynamic. Teaching her
hmm
not to annoy you, not entertaining her all the time.
hmm I, I give her the basic instructions before she leaves the earth, and that's that Bible perspective. What I mean by that is like this is how you have to think, feel, and behave in order to get access to me. Um, you know, if she presents something that I did not, you know, impute in her, then I say, okay, I didn't, I didn't guide you into feeling that way, so that's not my responsibility.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So it's up to her to self correct that shit because that wasn't something you taught her.
exactly, and that's what mastery is. For a woman, if you look at with Trinity, right, it's basically showing her how to self correct herself and to basically hold herself accountable, to basically, to keep the sanctity of the situation. Grown man business, what's going on?
What's up, brother?
That's another, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's the general.
Sharp
Harden.
brother, man. A beautiful family
Mm,
doing things the right way. I
yeah.
can look at that and say, man, if I was gonna get married, I want my situation to be like that, man. It's just how
Mm,
it's supposed to be run. As I say, grown man business.
hmm Exactly. The name says it all, man. It's the way that he carries it, you know. And it's like, why is that example really not really highlighted? You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's like, like why is that like not like why is that overlooked? See, that's the thing. Most of these guys are trying to be players, and be gamed up instead of basically bossing up. You know,
Right.
bossing
That's
up.
a drop.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna touch on that, man. It's just we should be focused on producing for ourselves, and that's another thing. What the reason why I say that the black female is the nigger's god is because they do things to impress her instead of doing things to impress themselves. You know.
Mm, that's true. I didn't even think about it. It just occurred to me when you said the nigger god. I
Mhm.
was thinking she's like the god of nigger shit, but you're
Yeah.
saying she's the god of niggas.
Yeah.
Okay, I just now, yeah, it just occurred to me when you said it. I was viewing it completely different.
hmm But it was worded in that way to where as though it can be. You got to look at it from a kaleidoscope form. You know, it's more than just one way to look at it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So your way of seeing it was not wrong. Just like my way of presenting wasn't wrong. It's just that
Hmm.
it goes back to basically the man. It's just like what GMB said, being man first. Because that's the problem with our culture. It's not man first. You look at you look at the Japanese culture, look at the Pakistani culture, you look at any other race of culture, it's about, the preservation, the prosperity and posterity of the man, because this is how you keep your civilization. In our culture, which really not even is, I don't even what the fuck that is. We'll just call it nigger culture, right? It's basically the woman. The woman is God. So it's basically we're a bunch of hyenas.
Bingo. Because that's how the hyena pack runs. It's a matriarchy. The women are in control, and the niggas are on the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody sees that shit. It's quite disgusting, man.
Mm-hmm.
It really is disgusting.
That's why I say, like, as far as the majority of the black males, unfortunately, we are the garbage men of the dating thing. I hate to use the word dating because I'm not really, me personally, I do not date. You know, I'm not, pandering or tap dancing for anything. I'm not taking you
Right.
out to eat and do all this other dumb shit. Like, I feel like everything should be earned, you know?
Right. And it's point. See, I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We may have our different reasons for not doing it, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, we don't do that dating shit. And for me, I feel like you have entertainers and you have educators, and to be seen as an entertainer is a big, major disrespect in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to be viewed as an entertainer. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I just don't see the value in having to take a woman out and all that stuff. It's like I'm the prize. I don't like using the term prize either because that's sort of feminine, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who has to be. I'm the one who's in control of the situation. I'm the one who has the value here. I'm the nucleus
Mm-hmm.
of whatever the situation may be, whether it's a friendship, fuck situation, or relationship. So the
Mm-hmm.
nucleus
Mm-hmm.
does not spin around the particles. The particles spin around the nucleus.
Absolutely. And you have, it goes back to that nucleus, right? It's look at the planets. I'm the sun. She's the other planets revolving around. She's the moon. She's a reflection of who I am at the end of the day, you know? And it's not about her. It's about the greater good of the vision, and I'm leading the vision.
Right.
That's and a youngin asked me this question. Now, I understand he's young. He's 21 years old. He asked me, he's like, damn, who really like learned you with this? Like, I learned this, what I'm saying, from my old head Lee, and then a lot of things I just really just learned as I went along and stuff like that. And he said, have you ever loved a woman in your life? And I said, I've loved myself in the woman. Whereas though the more she was, the equivalent of me, the more I loved her because she was the reflection of that. It's like God goes back to God. The more you walk into the path and the way, the truth and the light of God, the more, he's going to bless you, the more he's going to cover you, the more he's going to protect you, the more he's going to open up doors for you. It's really no different.
That's facts because he made us in his image,
Mm-hmm.
in their image.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer you are to that image, the more he can vibe with you, the more he can bless you. If you want to stray away from that image, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it's the same exact thing. You
Mm-hmm.
won't get those blessings. It's going to repulse them,
Absolutely.
as it
Absolutely.
should us.
Absolutely. It should. You should love the same things that God loves and hate the same thing that God, hates. It's the same thing with it, with the behavior of you know, these young ladies. I'm not gonna call them bitches. Um, but when they behave like one, I'm gonna call them out on it, you know.
Right.
And it's not really necessarily saying, oh, I'm gonna be asshole game, asshole game. No. I know how to treat a woman if she's behaving like a woman in my company, but I also know how to treat a bitch exactly as a bitch if she's in my company. And she doesn't want that side. She has to understand that there's consequences, and the consequences are very severe. I'm very stern, but I'm also rewarding when you carry it a certain way.
That's facts. That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the balance that I don't see in a lot of what it sort of frustrates me in the whole manosphere dating community
Mm-hmm.
type thing. And
Mm-hmm.
even as a MGTOW guy, I'm balanced, so I can recognize the bad in women, but
Mm-hmm.
it should also the information that is given, the red pills, if we can call it that,
Mm-hmm.
should also show you the good in women too. You can't just teach the bad traits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you like they can't, like you say, they can be managed. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like they're creatures that only can do bad and can never be controlled. I don't like that mindset
Mm-hmm.
because it's just teaching the bad shit and it's not teaching you to recognize the qualities, the good traits to look for,
Mm-hmm.
how to use these traits for your own good. It's
Mm-hmm.
just avoid, avoid, avoid. What I call
Mm-hmm.
it the AMS shit, pump and dump, which is
Exactly.
horrible. If you pumping
Mm-hmm.
and dumping, you're a fucking creature.
Absolutely. You're no different. different from the females that you complain about.
Right.
And if you gotta look at things for what it really is. If you look at what you say, the rib, right? Now the rib is pulled from your right side. That's basically the right hemisphere of your thinking. It means you have to be in your right mind to be able to see your rib. Now, if you look at the acronym of rib, is resting in brokenness. If you look at the rib, is it crooked or straight? See, most of these guys goes back to, they're trying to correct. They're trying to straighten the rib out. You can't straighten the rib out. It's perverse. It's a perverse creature. Although they know that they're the weaker vessel, but they'll still try to carry it out like they're the stronger one. But you have to guide
Right.
them into the truth of who they are and what it is, based on you being the example and bearing a true witness of what a man is and what a man is about.
Exactly.
Mm.
Look at some of these comments.
Yeah, no, I love this shit, man. This is what I actually doing the lives. This is the dope part I can say about the lives is the comments, the commentary, so forth, versus doing the uploads. It's kind of like it's right on the spot, and it's just vibing out with you, and we it's like we just having this conversation.
Exactly. And the guys, like I was saying, I was talking to King Ref about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying a lot of guys don't deserve to even offer opinions or rebuttals or like honestly, like they don't. I was saying that like, bro, what have they even earned the right
Mm-hmm.
to give an opinion on this type of stuff that we talk about? And in
Mm-hmm.
the comments, there's guys who have knowledge that we can learn from. So it's either they don't deserve to speak or they're guys that you're going to learn from. So whenever you're chatting with guys or they're in the comments and they're men of wisdom, you
Mm-hmm.
always go deeper into your thinking. They give you stuff to bounce off
Mm-hmm.
and just sharpen what you're thinking or go into a deeper level of what you might have not been thinking about before.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're around a lot of guys, unfortunately the mixto guys, a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting that. Like you're just talking, making your points, but there's no knowledge being gained back to you. It's just you're giving knowledge, you're not getting any back. It's not reciprocal.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's sad. You know, I think that's the beauty of this, because it's like, they're adding, like we're building and adding together. We're building, we're destroying and rebuilding. You know,
Hmm.
this is a power cipher. I like to call it. It's just increasing, our wisdom, increasing our knowledge, increasing our understanding. To basically become, you know, more proficient, and more efficient and effective. As a man, in the way we carry it, in our expression and our thinking. You know, becoming men, um, you know, solid, and not only in our manhood, but as well as in our vocation, as well as in other things.
Right.
It,
Exactly.
it, the problem with most of the guys, and I even, when I talk to the younger guys, um, this is another thing with our culture, because it's, it's broken. It's not really something that's, they're not competing, they're not going out, they're not building. you know it's because they're scared to become a man. They're scared to allow the chalice to drop to the ground.
Why do you think that is?
um just like their mothers, they're scared of responsibility.
True.
They want the position, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with it.
And I also think to add on to that, I don't think they see the benefits of being a man and carrying yourself because nobody's putting that forth.
Hmm.
Like when we say, for example, we look at a GMB in the way his situation operates,
Hmm.
that would be a reward of being a man,
Hmm.
having something fruitful like that, having a satisfying cooperation
Hmm.
with the woman who is reflecting all you put into her.
Mm-hmm.
Being surrounded by having a nice network, being surrounded by guys of value who are able
Mm-hmm.
to assist you in building, and these are benefits of being a thorough man. And I don't think many guys see
Mm-hmm.
any or hear any benefits
Mm-hmm.
of actually being a man, especially when it comes down to, again, what the topic is about, the nigger woman, because she
Exactly.
doesn't reward she doesn't reward a man. Who do we see her? Who do we see her being emotional to, being in love with, giving her body with? The effeminate
Mm-hmm.
males.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman who is a big motivation and validator, and source of validation for many males, she's not giving them any validation for being a real man.
Mm-hmm.
They only get validation when they're being boys. So, they don't see that reward for doing what is necessary of a man too.
Absolutely. And the reason why is because a lot of the black females are really, they want to be in a lesbian relationship, but they just want to actually have an actual penis instead of, a dildo or, strap on. So it's like they get with a guy that's just like them, and he has a real penis.
Right, right. And they don't. Let's see. That's another thing. They're picking, like you say, a lot of them are picking best friends.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not your friend.
Right. The same way your father's not a friend. If anything, if we're gonna be real,
Hmm.
the for some reason they have the mindset that the father is a higher position and a more important position than the man or the husband. The
Hmm.
husband is a 300 times more important than the father,
Hmm.
because she's only a child for a few years. This on a spiritual sense.
Hmm.
The husband is going to be what makes her enter heaven or hell, what has her spirit right. Not
Hmm.
the father, because the father is just, he sets the foundation in most cases, but he's competing with society as well.
Hmm.
But the the husband or the man she chooses, he's with her for much more years in her
Hmm.
adult year. He's the one who's protecting her when she's young. For the most part, she's protected just by her youth. But as an
Hmm.
adult, he's the one protecting her, feeding her, keeping a roof over her head, in charge of her spiritual compass and all that stuff. But yet,
Hmm.
people don't see the value of that. Like, she'll listen to her father, but you're not my dad.
Hmm.
No, I'm your man. That's more important than your dad. That gains more respect. It doesn't say your husband. It doesn't say your father should be your Lord in the scripture. It says your husband should be your Lord in the scripture.
Hmm.
And they don't seem to get that. It's a much higher position.
Hmm. And the thing is, when you look at the word husband in the Greek, it means earthly master. So when a woman presents that to you, okay, so what you're basically saying is you want me to be your earthly master. So when you present that to a black woman, you know, what does she do? Again, it goes back to scaring the masculinity out of her black ass.
She frowns her face up, pounds her lips, and said, "What, I like a slave to you?"
Hmm.
I mean, just asking a woman. Well, I don't. I personally don't do this, but I know a lot of guys, they might ask a woman to cook or something, and she say, "Well, I'm like a slave." That's why I don't even. For the
Yeah.
most part, I do all the cooking, I do all the cleaning, because it reverses the game. First of all,
Hmm.
because I'm just gonna cook better than the bitch regardless, because I
Facts.
like what I like, and I'm a little OCD with the cleaning, so I'm gonna clean better too. But
Hmm.
it's gonna remove the power she has. So if I'm turning down sex and she
Hmm.
has to ask me for sex, and I turn it down once or twice in a week, I'm cooking and cleaning for her. I'm
Hmm.
cooking and cleaning really for the household, not for her,
Hmm.
because you are a man and it's your house. It's
Hmm.
taking the power that she has and it's making her step it up in other ways, because she doesn't want to sit there and just watch you do everything, unless she's a real lazy bum bitch. But for the most part, if she respects you, she wants to add value to you. And when you take away some of the avenues for her to add value, it's forced for her to look inside and figure out what ways can I really step it up and add to this man's vision. Now she has to just say, look, what do you need me to do? And when a woman, if you take the power from her, she's forced to ask that question. What does he need me to do? But for you niggas, she never has to ask that because she's cooking and cleaning and she's thinking that's enough and she's fucking. She never has to ask, or what do you need me to do? And that's all it is. You don't have a vision. She
Hmm.
doesn't have to ask, what does your vision need me to do?
Hmm. Exactly. Because the thing is, she's only going to meet that need that you're presenting, which is primal. And remember, I said before about remember I think we spoke about that about the cooking, right? She has to basically be in a good mood to be making my food and stuff like that. That's the reason why I don't eat out like that. You know.
Damn. Yeah, I remember you saying that you wouldn't even let her. You wouldn't even let her cook her food if she has a bad energy. Cook your
Hmm.
food if she has a bad energy,
Hmm.
and that's fact. That's a deeper understanding of the spirit and energies that most guys
Hmm.
don't even consider.
Hmm.
And hell, I didn't before you said it.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of like it's something that's innate, I believe, because it's like your mind, you're putting that into your stomach. It's just like even when you break down I think I did the piece on sex and positions and stuff like that, and I broke down the
Yep.
Star of David. um that kind of like it's hard to explain that to brothers, man. Like, what do you mean you don't be tearing the drawing down from the back? Like, nah, you're not really supposed to do that, because it's like in the slave era, that was considered like rape culture, because that's what the white dudes used to do. And the woman is actually in front of you. He might think he was doing a certain thing, but look at what it is. Like, the black woman is basically in front of the white man, dragging him
Right.
around because he's a slave to black pussy.
Right.
So if you look at the Star of David, right, it's a triangle going up and a triangle going down. What is the man? The man is in the position of the heavens if he's on top of the woman. What is the woman? The woman is the earth. It's the pull. It's the power.
Mm.
Yeah.
So you got to be on top.
Yeah. Because now
Got to
you're on
be on
top of the
top.
conversation. Because then you're on top of everything. You're on top of what she's doing. But when she's on top of you, guess what happens? Because sex is really a lower form of communication. The higher form of communication is the verbal, right? So now, if she's on top of you, in the lower form, she's going to be on top of you in the higher form, and then you're getting ran, amok.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The Bible is an amazing book when you can decode, you know, what actually takes place. Even when you look at numbers, even when you look at certain verses, it's amazing when you really pay attention to it. Um, then you really know how to manage. It's really a spell book, but it's also a book about management. So you know how to manage things. And as I said before, I said in the beginning, I said the more godly you are, the more potent and the more effective you are in your relations with the woman.
unpack that.
Well,
I get it, but I want others to know exactly where
absolutely.
you're coming from.
Well, the closer you are in your fellowship with God through, scripture, right? Because with the
Hmm.
scripture, where it says to meditate in the word, really meditating is not sitting Indian style. It's actually thinking about what this verse says and what does it mean. And as you're breaking down your mind, because with each verse and everything like that, it's omitted. But then you get that, that's the external inclination, but then you get the internal inclination where it's added to that, and it's like, oh, I got it. So then you want to carry it a certain way. So then when you're gonna basically, once you carry it, so you're gonna implement it in your situation. So it becomes effective, because now a woman is not seeing, it's kind of like, as I said before, you know, it's like God said it through you, but gave you the credit. So she's not going to basically go up against you. She's basically going to go up against God,
Mm.
and she's not going to want to do that. If she hears it clear enough, that's where it goes back to scaring the masculinity out of her black ass.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that reminds me of one of my closest homies, Born. He was telling me he's to the point where he might only deal with um, Muslim women,
Mm.
and it seems that Muslim women, because Allah has a strong grasp and they follow him more than
Mm-hmm.
most of the black women follow y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It
Well,
seems like huh?
they're gonna basically follow their way into hellfire. It even says in the Quran that more than half of the women are going to basically burn in hellfire. A lot of people think that hellfire is in the afterlife. No, it's right now. Most of these women are burning in hellfire right now. And
Facts.
what is the hellfire? It's the inner jihad, the inner war. You know, it's the cognitive dissonance between what they know innately, what they should be doing, versus what, you know, the outward influence that has them into that hyper feminism.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's like I said, I can see with just dealing with different women of different cultures, their conviction to
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like, man, and I think I get why, but even when we talk about Israelite women,
Mm-hmm.
they just don't. It's hard for the black woman, especially, to shake the feminism.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said before, the feminism shit is like what you said for white women.
It's a hustle.
They hustle. It's a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
But for sisters, it becomes their way of life and their identity.
Mm-hmm.
So it affects them on a much deeper level and a lasting level too.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why it does that, because it's been information passed down to their grandmother. Even if they meet a guy that's always thorough, always solid in what he's doing and what he's presenting, it's that fear of letting go, and it's that fear of being a woman. They're scared to be women. They're scared to just relax and be natural in who they are, so they buck up against it.
Now, do you think that's mostly the male's fault?
Yeah, because most guys, you know, it goes back to the same things, the fear. They're scared to be men, and women are scared to be women. They're females, with, you know, testosterone.
Right.
You know.
I can sort of get that why they would be scared too, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't depend on these niggas for protection. I mean, because you got thug simps and they think protection is just, going. I saw this video. You might have saw it. The lady called some random guy to beat up her baby daddy.
Shit,
She
that's wild.
considered that protection, but if they end up in prison, now she's unprotected from the system,
Mm-hmm.
unprotected spiritually, unprotected mentally, not just physically.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys don't have the knowledge to protect a woman mentally, spiritually, and emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
not just physically. It's easy to do it physically, especially, a place like my state where everybody's walking around with guns. That's easy. But
Yeah.
to have the knowledge to protect her spiritually and the knowledge to protect her mentally and emotionally, most
Mm-hmm.
guys don't have that. So I honestly can't even blame most of these women,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point they have to realize, it's from their standpoint. A lot of them are raised single mother homes. They don't have an idea of what a man's supposed to look like. It's hard to combat society's programming of a man,
Mm-hmm.
um, when they don't see any examples. All they see is what they've been dealing with their whole life, and then that's confirmed through society. So that's why I get pissed off when I see men setting these inferior standards of what a high value man may be or what men are supposed to be. It's because we really are holding the whole cycle back by
Mm-hmm.
teaching bullshit and pumping and dumping.
Mm-hmm.
Because if women don't see the examples of quality men, and they're the one pushing out kids, with every inferior man or weak man that's out there pumping and dumping,
Mm-hmm.
he might create 2-3 generations just based off his actions of more inferior men,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't see it that way.
It's perpetuating the cycle of destruction. Um, and another thing is, like, when you look at this, um, most people, I know GMB actually said this. Most women are scared of the truth. So what about when they run to a guy that actually is the truth and is walking in the truth? they're scared of that because women avoid. Not say women, because I would say
Females.
females, 90. You know, I'm gonna be generous. 9 out of 10 females, right? They, I'm being generous. I'm trying to like, hey, maybe it might be a unicorn out there, but they avoid what's good for them. That's why they go into the poison. That's why they bite the fruit of their deceit. They don't want to deal with the truth. They don't want to deal with a man that represents the truth. That's the problem. When a man finally takes a stand, it's like, as they say, stand on your square, remain on your square, you know, walk in the truth of your understanding, right? Once you do that, see, there's no rewards in the instant gratification standpoint, because in a lot of ways you're standing alone.
Right.
So that's why guys kind of shuck it, like, man, fuck this, man. I'm gonna go out and do this and be this instead, versus being, an all true man.
Right.
You know.
Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we at. But with topics like this,
Mm.
I think
Yo.
brothers can be able to take something to just elevate the way they think, because it all starts in the mind, and be able to
Mhm.
operate a little bit differently.
Yo, the chat is super lit, bro. Like, yo, you see what what did Briscoe say? Yeah. I remember last time we was in GMB's chat, man. They talked about the dude about value. Now, this is where the deception is, right? This is where the lack of discernment comes from. You're learning how to be a high value man from a guy that isn't a man. From a guy that takes dick in the ass. Any man that takes dick in the ass can't make the right decision. He shouldn't be trusted. But our
No.
community celebrates that bullshit.
And I was disgusted, bro, because I don't know if you've seen, but I made quite a few
Yeah,
posts about it today.
yeah.
And just looking at the comments, and it's like guys are defending this. Well, he drops gems, and I don't deny that. My
Mm,
logic is, if you're sleeping with men and women, of course you're gonna have insight, because
mm,
you're dealing with both of them on a different level that we may not be. You know what I'm saying? So you're
mm,
gonna have insight. You're gonna have gems. You're a grown man. Not
mm.
so you're a grown male,
Yeah.
and you've been through life. So you're going to have information that a young 20-year-old might not have,
Mm,
just about life in general. But it
mm.
doesn't take the fact that you're suspect.
Exactly. Hella
And
suspect.
and they'll say, well, black women are the biggest supporters of trans and homosexuals. But then when I'm looking at the comments, I'm like, well, what the hell going on over here?
Exactly.
Same as that shit.
Exactly. Exactly. And people didn't even discern this. The guy's response to the question presented to him. A real heterosexual man, if you present that type of question to him, it's automatic. He's on 10.
Right.
He's sitting there entertaining it.
Right. A young dude too.
Yeah.
Don't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know any better, man. Just it's raising. I talked about this in the morning, like this morning, how my father just how he rate like shit that guys don't see. Like he don't even realize the guy asking that question is suspect.
Mm-hmm.
In my dad's eyes, if you were in a single digit age, past 9 years old, you're not even supposed to be eating cereal, fam. Like the standard was so extreme with him. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of grown men, they don't eat no damn cereal. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's for children to them,
Yep.
or for sissies.
Yep.
But it's like the standards. These guys haven't been taught anything, man. They just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So when I present it like I did this morning, and I got, oh, you're a hater, this and that. I'm like, bro, my man literally drank a Red Bull with a straw. Bitches don't do that shit.
Yo, and how he held it with two hands, and how he sniffs the cologne. I'm like, what the fuck? This is obvious.
way past obvious, bro. It's as obvious as RuPaul. Yet niggas don't. That's what sort of scared me, man. I was like, man, I damn don't even want to have. I don't even want to make no posts anymore, man. Just let my page go ghost for a couple of months, man. I was disappointed. Like, damn, this is where we at, where obvious shit is not discerned. And we
Yep.
have guys who will hit me up like, bro, how do you get a mask off a woman? So how do you expect to get the mask off the opposite sex when you don't even know how to get the mask off the same sex?
Exactly. Exactly. And it just comes from, you know, surroundings and, you know, who you raised by. Most of these guys weren't raised by men. Most of these guys weren't around men. I I was blessed to really be around like men, like masculine dudes, and you could tell just the energy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and his energy tells you what he's into.
Right.
You know, it's
If
just
they have
like,
eyes to see.
mm,
If they have eyes to see, which it's like I said, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's crazy. It's laughable to me, man. Like
yep,
I can show this to my little sister, and she's like, and within 2 seconds, hell yeah, he's gay.
oh yeah,
But I'm sitting here having to guys defending this. I'm like, bro, this is we in bad shape, man. I'm sort of embarrassed to be even considered anything to do with manosphere or red pill, any of that. I'm
yeah,
embarrassed.
yeah. It's just the reason why is because and GNB brought up is about the agents. You know, they've allowed, you know, creatures such as him and, you know, these these women into our spaces to occupy it because they're thirsty and because they want to get a quick buck. It's for filthy lucre or whatever, like instead of principle, you know.
Right.
And you know what manosphere is about men issues, you know, and men's solutions and solving them to become, you know, better men. You know, is iron sharpening iron, not iron sharpening lily, not iron sharpening dandelion. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. Exactly. You know, one of the comments I saw today, the guy was like, on the video I posted when he was asking the guy about a dick, the man was like, well, you need to read context. I think it's pretty suspect for you to be talking about another man worried about what he said. So I'm thinking, okay,
Mm-hmm.
one man asked another man about how big is his dick. That's
Yeah.
not gay. Me doing a video checking it is gay.
Mhm.
We in bad shape, bro.
Exactly. And the bull
These
and the bull remind me to do what's that movie from Soul Plane with the greasy ass lips asking that question and shit.
the little that the plane with Snoop Dogg and all that on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, I was pissed just by him presenting that. And he wasn't asking me that question.
Right. Because it's as if now, of course, I'm not stupid. I get what they say when he says context, but they don't understand the rules and regulations of the shit. That's out of code. That's out of pocket.
Hmm.
That should get you killed.
Yeah.
Fuck a context. You lack of that shit will get you killed in certain arenas, I should say,
Yeah.
or certain industries.
Yeah.
That would get you killed. And if you don't have enough awareness, if you'll sit back and somebody check it and you take a problem with that, the community is done, bro. It's
That's
done.
exactly. This is where it goes back to what I said, the black female is the nigger god. The reason why is the nigger god, because what is the black woman doesn't want to be corrected. You know, it's all about positive energy, good energy, you know. And that's what these brothers are like, oh, don't correct me if I'm on some fuckery. You know, with men is all about self-correction and correcting each other. You know, this what makes you a better man. How do you become a better man without correction?
Right. You can. You
Hmm.
can. You absolutely can. Looking at these comments.
Hmm. Bringing it, it's got to be brought back, man. Even if it's just it's only a few of us, man. It's kind of like the movie 300. You know, it's like the tribe of, you know, Gideon. You know, we only need, you know, we don't need 1,000 brothers, you know, trying to bring this back. We only need the few that's willing, you know, to take it there and to put things in you know, its proper place.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm an optimist in the sense that whereas though the manosphere can be renewed, can be, you know, restored and be brought to the truth and the light of what, you know, it's supposed to be.
I think so. I think so. I think it can as well. It just takes, like, it got guys have to consistently check the bullshit. There shouldn't be, nobody is above reproach and being checked.
Yeah.
You have to consistently check the bullshit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's part of being a man. Like, a lot of that's what kills me. So many people talk this alpha shit, but look at Donald Trump. To me, he's an alpha.
Yeah.
He's gonna check your ass and say whether you get offended or not. It doesn't matter. If you're not wanting to say shit out of losing followers, that's selling your soul.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to say shit out of not coming off as a bad guy because you want to put yourself in line to get an interview with them, you're selling your soul, and that's not masculine. You
Absolutely.
should always be willing to speak your truth and your feelings, and if they don't like it, I mean, it is what it is. But
Exactly.
to me, that's being a man. You speak, you speak your fucking mind. You speak
Exactly.
your mind. Donald Trump's not going to stay quiet because he's worried about offending motherfuckers. He's gonna speak his truth, and he gonna have this little smug face on. He gonna say what the hell he want. And if you don't
Exactly.
like it, fuck you.
Exactly.
That's part of being a man. Like I
Exactly.
said, that positivity speech shit,
Mm.
that's feminine. Protecting the emotions and protecting the ego. When
Mm-hmm.
the logic is going to elevate and truly protect the emotions, because it's going to elevate it to another level.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all about how you respond to what's being presented to you. You know, it's not all positive vibes and positive. Like, man, fuck that shit. He didn't become the president of positive vibes and positive energy, man. He came in saying some saying some strong stuff. He's like, look, you know, I'm going to build a wall and you're going to pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah, that was savage. That was savage as hell. And they respect that shit. You like, I respect it more. I
Yeah.
respect Putin and Trump more than I do Obama,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't respect a nigga just bending and tucking his tail to be peaceful. I don't respect brothers who, as I said this morning, you got two type of black men when it comes to dealing with white folks. You got
Mm-hmm.
the types that are going to try to be less of a threat, which is the
Mm-hmm.
majority of niggas.
Yep.
The Kevin Samuels, he's going to
Mm-hmm.
try to be more less of a threat for them. And
Mm-hmm.
then you got the ones who already know they're going to be a threat, and they're going to say, fuck it, I'm going to live my truth. I respect you. You respect me. It won't be any issue.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, and that's why Neely Fuller Jr. said, racism, and part of racism and a part of being black in a racist white supremacist system is having to smile and laugh when you don't feel like you want to. And I was
Exactly.
like, damn, that shit is gold, because it talks about, that's what it is, trying to be
Mm-hmm.
less threatening rather
Mm-hmm.
than just being yourself. The white man he doesn't wear the burden of trying to be less threatening.
Mm-hmm.
He just
Because he's
says what the fuck he does.
exactly because he's in position. He's not really an alpha, and that's what, you know, a lot of these black females fail to understand. He's not really an alpha. He's just in a position to do certain things. You know, we're really the alpha. We're really the guardians of the globe. You
Right.
know, it's just we're scared. You know, scared of everything. We're scared. It's not so much we're scared of um we're scared of the consequences of white people. We're scared of ourselves.
Damn. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough right there. It's the truth though.
Mm-hmm.
It is the truth, man.
Mm-hmm. It's really just, you know, taking what we saw leadership. It goes back to, you know, guys talk about leadership and command. I presented command when they was talking about demand, but they think it's, you know, they think it's command when they're really demanding shit. You know, when you command certain things, it comes from looking in the mirror, looking at yourself, taking the responsibility, you know, and leveling up and doing, what you need to do,
Right.
as a man. Because first, in order to lead other people, you have to lead yourself. You can't lead a woman until you know how to lead yourself. You can't manage a woman until you know how to manage yourself.
Exactly.
Most of these guys want to basically have women. They don't know shit for anything. It's like, I don't know if it's Tolstoy says, to know thyself. Shakespeare says to be true to thyself, right? And Jesus says to give of thyself. But if you don't really know yourself and you're not really being true to yourself, so what the fuck are you giving? You're giving mixed energy, mixed messages. You're all over the place. You're just as crazy as the bitch. Then what are you doing?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. As you
Mm-hmm.
said before, and that's what you get, a lesbian girl on girl relationship. It just has the dyke happens to have a real dick
Exactly.
because you're both operating the same exact way,
Mm-hmm.
except that's where she needs to be, and that's where you're not supposed to be.
Exactly. Both out of position. And see, the thing is, with black females, they know how to behave around certain type of men. Um, they know how to put that shit aside. It goes back to scaring the masculinity out of a black ass.
They
You
sure
know?
do. They
Yeah,
sure do.
because it was
I've had
certain.
some hood ass women. I'm talking about gold teeth all in the mouth, snapping on niggas, this and that. And then when it's with me, just feminine, nurturing, in the position, it's the energy thing, man. It's hard. You can't teach that. A guy asked me to do a drop, and I don't even know if I can do it. He was like, he was raised effeminate, and I told him I'll do it. But as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't even know if I know how to do this, man. Saying I was raised effeminate by a bunch of women, and I'm considered the effeminate male, and the way I act. But how do I program myself to be more masculine? And I'm like, I
Mm,
really don't know what to say to that.
mm-hmm.
I honestly don't, because that's a spiritual thing.
Absolutely.
The spirit of the demon of effeminate is inside. The effeminate demon, effeminate spirit is inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to, fucking do an exorcism and get that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But I respect the brother for saying that, though, for
This is honest.
recognizing it, right? Rather than saying, he's, because it was also Kevin Samuels' post, recognizing that he couldn't even see that and said, damn, I might be doing some effeminate shit too. I respect that more than a nigga doubling down trying to defend that shit.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's also the major issue is that, they talk about women being a certain way, but it's like, brothers are not being accountable to themselves. Like, you gotta look at yourself. Like, even with me, there's areas of my life where I'm not really, handling it in the way that I should.
Hmm.
There's areas where I'm working on, and there's areas I'm not working on. And I gotta basically work on the areas where I don't want to work on.
Right.
You know, and that's all about being honest. You know,
And being a man.
yeah.
Self-actualization, as Man Cave, aka King Ref, is always talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Self-actualization. When you look back at every situation and say what I did wrong and not point the fingers at other people and
Yeah.
self-actualize what I get. Maybe the bitch cheated on you and treated you like shit, and you
Yeah.
really didn't do anything wrong inside the relationship. But you
Mm-hmm.
got to look at, okay, what drew me to this bitch?
Mm-hmm.
That you did wrong. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So it's always something you can look at and
Mm-hmm.
spot the fuckery in yourself that needs to be improved upon. But that's
Mm-hmm.
just part of wanting to accept it and look in the mirror and being a
Absolutely.
man.
Exactly. Like this one guy, he wanted to blame his baby mom. He says, I was trying to make her a woman. How the fuck do you make, someone that's behaving like a baby's kid into a woman? The only thing you can do is help a woman become a better woman. You can't transform a fucking niggly bear into a woman. It's not gonna. It's not gonna work that way, buddy. You know, what is wrong with you? You know, you got it all backwards. You can't make that. You know, it's not fix it. You know, it's not a fix it bitch. It's not a build a bear. You know, build a niggly bear into a woman. It doesn't work that way. You know, she's a woman. She becomes a better woman dealing with you. And then he wants to blame her, and instead of blaming himself and his choices. Why did you choose her in the first place? You know, you
Right.
chose, you know, a what do you call it? A bottom tier broad. You thought you could build her up. It doesn't work that way. You know,
Nope.
it goes back to you and your choices. Instead of building instead of trying to build her, you should build yourself up to where you get a better, woman for your mission. You know, and I kept pointing back to him. He didn't want to deal with that. You know, this nigga's in his 40s. Like, come on, man.
Damn. In the
Bad shape.
40s.
Bad shape.
We in bad shape out here. In the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Indeed. What's it? Man, case said I want to beam up because this ice insults be fired. Exactly. Yo, I think I did send a link to your whatchamacallit, man. I did send it to your let me see if I can do it here because I'm learning how to work this motherfucker.
Is it possible for me to send it to text it to him?
Yeah. And if you have GMB, I think if he's still in the chat, you could definitely beam him up, man. I mean, you put
Can I
him.
put that link in the chat or not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If anybody wants to, you know what I'm saying, jump on, you know. I'm still learning how to work this little computer thing, man. It's pretty interesting. You got it there, bro?
Let
me see.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Let me see. I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right, so I got to do it from my other phone because I tried to go into Instagram and it fucking took me on.
Mm. Oh yeah, yo. You said you got to see the Demon Deacon series. Yo, that Demon Deacon series is lit. Yo, me and G be laughing about that, man. Yo, it's not even that. It's just like a couple of those fire and ices, man. That second one, we had to put that immediately on Patreon, man. I think we went in on that day, man, because we was just chatting. He said, "Thank y'all for giving knowledge to guys like myself, who is only 22. Blessings to you, family." He said, "Ice, we used to watch technology on the Jetsons. Facts." But that's that's the current plight of what's going on, man. It's just, it's really just building yourself up. A lot of guys think that's another thing where it's also being taught, in this atmosphere. The woman that's for you, the woman that do anything for you, is the woman that's going to do everything, sexually. No, that's not the woman that's for you. It's a woman that's basically, you know, you know, that's going to basically, slice another man's throat. If it comes down to it, that type of woman. Not saying you don't want to actually put her in that type of position, but that's the woman that's going to basically be for you. But in this culture, Freeport, you still there, bro? Let me see. I think I still hear him. The main thing, in fact, what I'm gonna do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh wait, look. So we got a guest. Let me see. Boom.
I just sent the link to GMB
Yeah.
in the ref.
Yeah. He said I can't come up, but I shared this live to my community tab. A little while. Respect, family. Respect. Was waiting for you. Your live early. Yeah, I was waiting. I seen it. I seen the alert for the live though, man. I'm definitely going to tune in for that. G, you still going on tonight, bro?
See, I'm hearing an echo on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. We got Man Cave.
You guys
Man
hear me?
Cave. Yes, indeed.
All right, smooth. Just need to
Mm-hmm.
adjust the volume. But how you brothers doing tonight?
Man, I'm blessed, man. You know, in the land of the living, man.
Yo, I was upset at the last drop because like I seen when you first aired it, but then something seemed to be like wrong with the link. Did YouTube take
Yeah.
it down? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely like what you guys have been saying. You know, like self-actualization is very, very important because,
Mm-hmm.
like you was mentioning about the dude that was 40. Like I know people dudes my age, bro,
Mm.
and I be telling nah, not even just dudes my age, but dudes that's like 30 plus. I be telling these guys, man, like stop focusing on women, bro. Like life doesn't revolve around women. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, at the end of the day, like what can most black women do for you? Like realistically,
Send
you
you
know?
to jail.
Yeah, exactly. Like they can't do much for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, most women in general, there's gonna be some stress that comes with that, and black women amplify it 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Like I've experienced it. I've seen other guys. Other guys have gone through worse, where they've lost everything. You know, through divorce, through her taking away the kids. Like my boy from he told me a story 2 years ago. He would say, and this is how messed up like a lot of black women are, bro. He said like when he was like a baby, she said you ain't seeing a kid unless we live together. You get what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, bro. And it's really sad, bro, because like she's not thinking about the child. You know, the child needs to bond with his father. No, she's thinking about, oh, well, since I feel this type of way, forget the kid. You get what I'm saying? So, and I want to ask you about the title, like what inspired you to do the title too?
Just looking at the current plight of what's going on as far as like where guys have basically have just been deifying women, not only just seeing it in these spaces but just in, you know, when I was working and just when, you know, just being in the neighborhood and stuff like that, man. Just guys really just everything they do is for, you know, the approval and impression, um you know, of the black woman that really doesn't give a shit about him. You know, she really only cares about herself and barely, you know, does that, you know, well, you know,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true. That's true. That's true. I really feel like I just want to go on a little rant a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
this is what
Oh,
frustrates me about this manosphere, bro. This self improvement movement, bro. It gets me upset because they're not telling guys look within yourself because you have your own issues. No, they're telling guys, you know what? You might have issues because you're a beta male. You know what I'm saying? So self-improve and
mm,
be the alpha male so you can pump and dump as many Jezebels and hoes as possible. That's what niggas is promoting on these spaces. You know what I'm saying? Not your channel, of
mm,
course, but I'm just saying like, and it
mm,
be frustrating me because it's like if you look at the niggas who push self-improvement, bro, they're not talking about improving self. They're talking about adjusting self for women. They're not talking about
mm,
improvement. They're talking about adjusting to women. If you really break down what this self-improvement thing on YouTube is about, you get what I'm saying? There's all these
Mm.
house videos. There's all these, a girl cut you off because you was beta. Sometimes you just too great for that chick to handle. You get what I'm saying? But most guys don't have that experience. You get what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee you, if I die tomorrow, right? A lot of chicks who have like encountered me and stuff like that, they're not gonna meet another King Ref. You get what I'm saying? They're not gonna meet another Ice Turner. They're not gonna meet another Professor MGTOW, GMB. Who else? You get what I'm saying? They're not gonna meet guys like us at our caliber. You get what I'm saying? They're just not. So they're gonna go. So we could die tomorrow, and they could die another 20 years later, and they will never. They could have sex with this guy, have 5 kids, and they will never meet a man of our caliber again. You get what I'm saying? And this was
Now, let me ask a question to that. Do you think they'll care? Like, because with us, we're not entertaining, we're educating. And their whole programming is set up to be entertained. So do you think they'll even care about that? Like, realistically?
Realistically, yeah, because there's going to be a level of shame. You get what I'm saying? That comes with that. Because think about it like this: if someone like our caliber is to die, we're going to leave a bigger stamp than any of the men before her, because we not only impacted her, but we impacted a lot of other people. Whereas the average guy really only impacts his own family, if we being real, and maybe a couple of his friends. But we've
And
impacted,
negatively too.
yeah, we've impacted strangers. We've impacted a lot of people. There's going to be people who disliked you and then being like, damn, maybe I didn't dislike Freeport. Maybe I was envious, and now I'm a fan of him. You get what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, a king that's disliked. Oh, I'm gonna use an example. Hitler. Hitler is one of the most hated people in the Western Hemisphere because of programming. Yet his name rings more than majority of good people, majority of the average people. So these people who are average, like the chicks who came in our lives and then left because they couldn't handle it, we're going to be more remembered in her mind than everyone else, because we kept it real. Even she knows that she couldn't handle the realness, and that's what's gonna hurt her more when we die, because there's gonna be shame with that. Damn, I wasn't woman enough to handle that. You get what I'm saying?
That's gold.
So
Yeah.
So a lot of these chicks, man, they'll say, man, I hate you today, but if you die tomorrow, it'll hurt.
Oh yeah.
It'll hurt.
They'll never find another you.
Exactly.
Yeah, they will never. You get what I'm saying? And their emotions are tied to unique experiences too. So you're a unique experience. You get what I'm saying? Whether it was good or bad. So they're gonna always tie that into you, and there can never be another duplicate.
Absolutely. That's why I call it, when I roll the banner, I say, the Ice Turner experience is something you can't define, but you can only experience through me. It's more so not just saying this is just me, but this is, for those that are listening, this is the way you should carry it, in a sense, like, this is an experience, this is an experience that's going to make you a better person. You're going to benefit from my benefits, not from, quote unquote, you might think, oh, the tangible. No, it's the intangible stuff that actually, can make you godly, young lady, and scare the masculinity out of your black ass.
The thing is, bro, they fear masculinity because, and you know what? Before I get into that, there's this misconception that a lot of black women are masculine. I don't think a lot of black women are masculine. I just think they're toxic, because when we try to imply that their bad traits are masculine, we're actually validating the idea of toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I personally don't believe that. You get what I'm saying? I don't believe masculinity is toxic, because look what masculinity brings to the table: creativity, building, order. Those aren't bad traits. And those aren't traits black women bring to the table whatsoever. They're just toxic.
Damn.
They're toxic and guarded. That's what they are in a nutshell. They're toxic and highly guarded. And the reason why they bark so much is because if a nigga with truth just spoke to her for 5 minutes, she is destroyed. You get what I'm saying?
Damn.
Because she's around a bunch of phonies all the time. You know, I swear to you, I could say 3 things to the typical black female, and her whole world is crushed. You get what I'm saying? Her whole world is crushed. Whereas the average guy, he could bark and scream because it's different. You get what I'm saying? It's different when a man who's respected is telling you something. Like Freeport on his live earlier this morning, he was talking about how he was a fan of Gucci Mane. You know, if Gucci Mane said, I don't really like that song, it might affect Freeport more than if Jay-Z said it. You get what I'm saying? Because to Freeport, Gucci Mane is the greater artist than Jay-Z. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, if you're a man that's like highly respected, it's just gonna hurt more. It's just like Gordon Ramsay, the world famous, chef, I suppose, right? If he says your food is trash, I'd be seeing contestants damn near about to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I worked so hard on this. It's because he's a world-class chef. You know what I'm saying? They might try to even talk back. Oh, you're just saying this. You don't understand how much work we put in. They're hurt because he is an elite in his field. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when you're an elite in your field, Freeport's the elite as far as vision, taking a mask off. You're an elite as far as the ice turner experience and stuff like that. I'm an elite as far as self-actualization. So when we're an elite in these fields and we're telling someone something and they don't like it, it hurts more. You get what I'm saying? It's like if Michael Jordan and a regular nigga told you suck at ball and you're playing ball. Michael Jordan would, if Michael Jordan says you're whack, a nigga might not want to play ball again to protect his own ego. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's really interesting, man. Like it really is. Really is. And when it comes to black women and stuff like that, I think the problem is with a lot of guys is Top Chocolate said black women has low self-esteem and fake confidence. man, that's so true, man. And the thing is, like, their confidence is cracked. There's too many cracks in their sense of confidence. It's not like a man's confidence, because confidence comes from being consistently competent at something. A lot of these chicks are not consistently competent at something. If you speak to them, I had like another failed 80 relationships. I've been backed up on rent another 7 months. You get what I'm saying? So how can they build confidence when they're not even competent? At least with a guy, you get what I'm saying? Even if he has low self-esteem, he can compensate it through constantly constant accomplishment or success in something. You get what I'm saying? Black women don't have that, bro. Like, compare the average hoe and the average player. You get what I'm saying? A player might not have the highest self-esteem, for example, but he's gonna be confident when it comes to women. Women, on the other hand, they can have nigga after nigga. Their confidence doesn't really grow from that. You know what I'm saying? Because if it did, they wouldn't be demanding so much from you to do. Oh, a man gotta take me out. A man gotta do this. That don't sound like someone who's confident.
Yep. That sounds like
So
a woman that basically didn't have a guy take her out and didn't have the things, and that's really the chick test on a low key, because a chick will basically present that, and I've seen him present that to other dudes in a sense, and he was like, well, I'm gonna be different. A chick presents that to me, it's like, well, I'm gonna do exactly what he did, but probably take it much further,
exactly.
just
Oh, by
because.
the way, Ice, you missed the IG live I was on last night. I was only on there for like 10 minutes. But
Mhm.
bro, this chick was delusional, bro.
You got
I
to be a
told
link.
Freeport about it. This chick was straight delusional.
Mhm.
So at first she posed the question because I seen one of the people I follow, he was on there, and for some reason I just randomly tuned in, and then there was one of the questions in the chat was why do men expect sex after a date, something like that. So I answered the question, but this is the part that gets interesting.
Mhm.
She was saying that she's a woman that's high maintenance and all this, and a man gotta provide and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, sweetheart, I understand, like, but what do you bring to the table that is just as important as what you're asking? Because like you're asking for tangibles. You're asking
Exactly.
for a man to provide, to do all this is tangible stuff you can hold in your hand. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then she was like, I could give him like I'm the bearer of life. Like I
Nope.
could give him love. And I'm like, yo, this is how they think, bro. This is how they think. And in my head, bro, I'm like, this chick is done. This chick is done, bro. She's done.
Shit.
She's done beyond. Because in other cultures, right?
Mhm.
In other cultures, something Freeport shared. It was what did he share? The Mexican chick. I told Freeport that Mexican chick who was in her motorcycle coming out and shooting 5 people would be a more submissive wife than American black woman.
That's fact.
And if I made a drop about that, dudes wouldn't get it at all. They wouldn't be able to comprehend it because
Mhm.
they'll look at the act, but they won't look at the mindset behind the act. You get what I'm saying? They'll look
Mhm.
at, she shot 5. She must be a sociopath or she must be crazy. But they're not understanding that the culture behind it. She'll kill
Mhm.
5 people, go home, settle the kids to bed, and wash your feet when you get home. Yeah, she done
Yep.
drop bodies for you. You get what I'm saying?
That's
American
a
black
drop.
women, she would
Yeah.
yell
No.
in your face. She would yell in your face, even though we are men of high caliber. I'm speaking in general. She will yell in the typical black dude's face. Oh, you ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. A cockroach walks out her bathroom. She's screaming, asking you for help. This is the type of crap we deal with in America, bro.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? In
Absolutely.
Mexico, a chick will see a freaking raccoon and be like, let's feed it some freaking nuts and keep it pushing.
Mhm.
So like it be killing me because like there's other cultures around the world where the women are more submissive and they're more about that life. A lot of these black chicks in America are not about that life. They're not gangster. Like
Mhm.
in Brazil, a chick will cook you 3 meals a day and then have a machine gun ready if anyone tries to kidnap her kids. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
These chicks
It,
aren't about it here. They have to go on slut walks, bro, to feel like something. Here, think about it, bro. They have to go on slut walks behind Amber Rose, who probably
a white
never been
girl.
shot at. Exactly. They have to go on slut walks down there, in Brazil. They're loading Glocks with trannies. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just different.
Mhm. The key word, top mentioned earlier, code. You notice with other race of women, they're on code. With their man, they're on code with the mission and stuff like that. The American black woman, the niggerized, American black woman is not on code. She's on code. She's on a white man's code. She's not on your code. She's on a white man's code.
she can't even fully fall through with that. To be truthfully honest,
Damn.
she can't even fully fall through with that because in a lot of interracial relationships, and I'm gonna bring this up because a lot of guys in the manosphere, they be like, "Oh, black women switch up when they date white dudes." No, they do not. I live in a liberal ass city. Interracial relationships are quite common, and when I look at the type of black women, the type of white men black women choose, they're not these Brad Pitt like. They're not these Brad Pitt type of guys that's not going to tolerate BS. They're not like that.
Facts.
They're not like these are these square dudes that have resources. You get what I'm saying? And truth be told, my aunt is in a racial relationship, so I know. I be seeing how she treating dude. Like she treats him like, she treats him like she would treat a nigga, but he's just white. So they're not even on code with what be going on. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In the workplace, who's often been the cause of complaints? Black women. You get what I'm saying? Black women in managerial positions, they've been complained for having attitude. Black women take their personal problems into the workplace. I've seen it. My former boss was a black woman, bro. So I'm talking from experience too, seeing it. She could come in and have a bad day, and a customer's like, "Can you grab this? Can you do this?" And she's rolling her eyes, upset because of what personal issues she has. You get what I'm saying? So,
It's out of pocket, man. Hold on, we got
it.
Y'all able to hear me on this?
Yeah.
All right, I had it up on a couple of different web browsers, so it was making this echo noise. But you know what you were saying, I think black women switch up not for white men. The woman that might deal with a white man is already like that, acting that way. But they switch up for real for Africans because Africans be on their ass. They don't play that bullshit. Like if you want to see a black American woman switch up, see how she act when she get with a Nigerian. It's a whole different game.
Interesting.
Because there's not that Americanization. You get what I'm saying? It's not. These guys will slap their wives and not have a problem with it. And some of those black women, they have like they're very prone to masochism. So they need that. When I see a dude beating on a chick on the street, I'm not cheering the nigga on, but I'm like, nigga, she chose that nigga. But when I see black dudes around, if the average black dude around sees that, he's like, oh, he's a disgusting human being. I'm like, she's probably worse. That's probably why he slapped her.
Exactly.
And they respect those Africans more too because they respect the culture.
Exactly.
They don't respect their own black men because we don't have culture, but they don't realize we don't have culture because of what these bitches are teaching and what they're doing and who they're procreating with and all this other stuff. They don't get it.
Because they're raising the men that they despise.
Right.
And then they're like, oh well, the man's the problem. He doesn't build this. Okay, well, you basically created this. This is your creation. This is your God.
And yet they don't see that. That's which is crazy to me. Because every other nation sees it. Just like every other nation, a woman can see the value. The women that cooperate the most have been non-black women in my life. And I've had plenty of black women, but just the cooperation and seeing the value is just the non-black woman, man. When it comes to Arab chicks, they see the value like no sister can.
They see certain things that, that because the sister's more so shallow. Now, I've had women, as far as black women, they were submissive and, whatever like that, but it's not the same quality level. It's like, it's really almost like a waste of time, to even have around you and shit. You know, that's why I be like a bit irritated and shit, because it's like I've experienced more with others. You know, they've um, opened my eyes up to certain things, even financially, things with nutrition, uh, you know, with exercise, um, with many other things, even with art, you know, and you know, you understand, like, as far as when I deal with, you know, sisters, the conversation is pretty base, you know, versus dealing with other, you know, races of women. You know, I can actually, you know, talk about more things, you know, pertaining to life, versus with, you know, I'll sit and explain this financial situation as a woman, as far as like with you know, with options trading and everything like that. And you know, I'm breaking things down to her, explaining. She's like, oh well, you know, what did you eat today? And that was her fucking response. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yo,
You know, you're like,
that's true.
are you like fucking Garfield? I hate Mondays. You just eat, sleep, and fuck.
Creatures.
Yeah.
Creatures. And another thing you said that stood out is that you said the non-blacks would
Mm-hmm.
teach you about nutrition and teach in food and diets and health,
Mm-hmm.
because they depend on their man to lead. They want that man to lead and live a longer life. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to take care and get him life through his food. Shahrazad Ali said that the black woman is responsible for giving life to her man and her children through food, but she doesn't see the value in that. And she'll just feed him a bunch of bullshit and let her whole family die of cancer and diabetes at 40, 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other one, seeing the value of the leadership of a man, is not going to go out that way. She's going to make sure his health is right. And you can see the differences in the culture. As I said before, back then, back in Miami, I would see like let's say a family with a husband, a wife, a son, and a grandma, a
Mm-hmm.
Mexican family. The dad would ride in the front seat. The little 5, 6 year old boy
Mm-hmm.
would be in the passenger seat, and the grandma and the mom would be in the back seat. And it was shocking to me, because to me, I looked at it as disrespect. When in reality, the man comes first no matter what age.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he's able to be out the car seat, the grandma has to go in the back. In the
Mm-hmm.
black family, it will be blasphemy to suggest that your grandma rides in the back seat and a little 7 year old boy rides in the front.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't understand that till I understand the nigga shit in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's deep.
it's crazy because like little things like that, like there's so many layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's layers to like small simple stuff like that. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy to think, like, real talk, when Freeport was talking,
Mm-hmm.
like my programming was offended. Like I literally, no, real talk. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, that's foul, bro. But I'm understanding it's the programming, bro. Like to
Mm-hmm.
have a 7-year-old boy in the front and an old woman in the back. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine it this way. Let's say you're in middle school, and you pull up to a school that has a bunch of different people. So the Asian family, the Indian family, the Arab family, Hispanic family, black family, white family. The black and white are both niggers,
Mm-hmm.
which most don't seem to understand.
Mm-hmm.
They're both niggers because we're under their programming. White people are niggers too, in my eyes,
Yeah.
by the way they act. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is going to operate based off the other culture. So when they look at us with confusion, like, wait, the boy is 10 years old, he's sitting in the back seat. What the hell is going on here? And they laugh at us, and we look at all the other cultures. So really, we are the exceptions to the rule, not the majority.
Exactly.
Because all those other cultures, the kid's going to sit in the front. The man
Mm-hmm.
comes first, and you have to program and indoctrinate them with that since at the very beginning of the situation. At the very
Mm-hmm.
beginning, as soon as they're old enough.
and dudes don't think, and a light bulb flashed in my head as far as that, because the psychology of it, because a son is the dad's backup soldier. That's what people don't understand. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, like, let's say, because in other cultures, you know, they could hunt, they could, you know, they could gut sheep. The son is normally the right hand man to the father's job. So if a father's like, you know, we're gonna skin this lamb from skin to bone or something like that, the son is there helping the father. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's there because he's gonna be next in line. You get what I'm saying? So they tend to take a lot of, and this is the thing that niggas lack. They lack rite of passage, bro.
Mm.
Like, niggas lack rite of passage, bro. We don't have a rite of passage in as
We
a right
do.
now, huh?
Prison.
Damn,
Yeah.
damn,
Facts.
damn.
Child support. Real shit. That's our culture. That's the nigger culture.
What about
Prison, child support.
for the woman? Because I know in other cultures they have like a sort of rite of passage for women too.
Single motherhood.
Damn.
That's the rite of passage. Like, we have to program our minds to not look at it as, because we don't do what other cultures do, we don't have a culture. No, we have to just realize this is our culture.
Mm.
That is our rite of passage.
It's sad.
Damn.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm.
The nigger culture, which is
Mhm.
a whole nother job, but like, it really, because it's more than just the women, but that nigger culture is serious, man. And it ain't just niggas, it's white folks too.
Mhm.
This is their culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Because if you look at a lot of white dudes, they're what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of white people don't have both their parents. Like, single motherhood is high among white people too. Like, it
Oh
takes
yeah.
you getting to know a good amount of them. You get what I'm saying? And when you look at the behavior traits of white people and black people in America, it's very similar. Like, in a pizza shop, like, I remember 3 years ago, I was at a pizza shop and I was so upset because, like, I'm waiting for my slice and these white guys are talking loud like niggas in a liquor store. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm waiting for my slice. There's a game on, and they're just talking about a whole bunch of sports and come on, you can find that anywhere in the hood. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you're at the
Mhm.
right time. So a lot of white people, a lot of their behavior is not that much different than black people.
Nope.
Mhm.
They're both niggers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we gonna be honest with you, the nigger culture, man, is American culture.
Exactly.
This is why this country needs to fall. Realistically, it's a disgusting culture. I don't know how any nigger with sense can be pro America. I don't
Exactly.
get it. Niggas are walking around with MAGA hats and shit, pro
Shit.
American flags. How can you have a ounce of pride in this country? It amazes me. If you
Mhm.
are a so-called woke black man and you don't wake up and pray for the collapse of America every day, I don't understand what you see in this world,
Mhm. It's
Yeah,
because your rulership is dependent on this country falling. So that means you don't want to rule.
exactly. Exactly. It's very, see, with nigger culture is really, it's an attitude thing. It's the people have nigger attitudes. When you have a nigger attitude, you have nigger behavior. When you have nigger behavior, you have nigger consequences. And voila, what you have right going on right now. See, and I don't believe that there's people that are stupid. I believe that there's people that have useless knowledge, like like keeping up with the Kardashians and fucking sports and shit. You know, just useless shit. Things that don't really advance your life. You know, that don't really move you forward, which just kind of keep you entertained.
Right. That's a big part of so-called nigger culture is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so anti-entertainment, bro. I swear I get disgusted when I
Mm-hmm.
see niggas watching sports, going to clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I just get disgusted. I'm like, all the stuff going on here, and
Mm-hmm.
entertainment is on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Club beat. What's today? What's Monday? Is Monday today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Monday.
In Atlanta, I guarantee some club is packed, full of niggas
Mm-hmm.
wanting to entertain. And I just
Mm-hmm.
be disgusted, man. I'm like, it's all the stuff that we got going on. As
Mm-hmm.
bad a shape we are in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment rules. Watching sports. Oh, I couldn't wait to sports to come back. Like, come on, man. Like these people, like you said, bro, you
Mm-hmm.
call them creatures, Ice. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh
they
yeah,
gotta be put down.
absolutely. Just like when there was a conversation, young gentlemen, they were talking about, LeBron James, like, yeah, da da da. And the one old head, they didn't really get his message. I seen exactly where he was coming from. He's 61 years old. Man, he said, fuck LeBron James. He's like, nigga, he ain't my God. Like, I'm my God. And he was like, went straight in, and they were like, whoa, old head, you took it there. And they was offended by it. But it's like, at the end of the day, what does LeBron James do for you? What has he done for your life other than dribble a fucking basketball?
Exactly.
Yo, dudes used to almost get into fights over basketball debates in high school, man. Like sometimes they would get heated. Like, you know what? This celebrity worship is getting so deep that I'm gonna bring up something that I think goes over a lot of people's head. A lot of people have like this subconscious incest vibe towards celebrities. You get what I'm saying? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of dudes, they look at LeBron like he's their daddy. You get what I'm saying? But there's like a sexual component to it. Because you gotta think about it,
Oh,
bro. Yeah, no, seriously. Like it's subconscious. It's not even something that they consciously think about, like, I want LeBron, but it's more like subconscious because if you think about what Cleveland did when he left, really think about it, bro. You have
yeah.
a bunch of grown ass men of all ages burning a city because a nigga decided to leave. think about how deep that is, bro. Bro, there has to be a homosexual component to that. You can't
Yo,
tell me there isn't. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying these guys are straight homosexual. I'm just saying there's a component to it.
yeah, it's in the
You know what I'm
essence.
saying? Because like, imagine you leave town, right? And there's a bunch of people saying, "Nah, you ain't leaving, nigga. We love you too much. Nah, you ain't leaving, and we'll burn this whole thing."
Yeah.
Like, bro, you gotta think about it on that level, bro. And it's a bunch of grown ass men telling you, "Nah, we love you, nigga. Don't leave."
Yo, that's deep.
Yeah, I
It
never even
is,
thought
bro.
about that.
It is, bro. Like they
It's
view
so
this nigga like their daddy, bro. And real talk, bro. I think niggas behind the scenes in Cleveland, they would have gave this nigga Braun head to stay. I think it's that deep, bro.
wow.
I think it's that deep. Because if you're psychotic enough to burn a city to ash for this nigga, and all he does is dribble a ball, you get what I'm saying?
He said, "Leave a big rich,
Yeah, like,
he from Cleveland." My bad.
no offense to your town, but it's just the idol worship. You get what I'm saying? That I'm just noticing, and it's so deep, bro. It's so deep. You tell a female Beyonce fan, don't ever say that. Don't ever say she's this, she's that. Don't ever say she's Illuminati. There's the sexual component there. Like these chicks will kill you for Beyonce. They will kill you. You know,
Yo,
They all share the same demon.
yeah, that's true.
man, we're in bad shape.
We are. And I was thinking to myself as you was explaining that's not even that's more than just niggas. Because if you actually, as bad as we are with the sports, if you go to fucking Brazil or Portugal or Spain and you talking soccer, that they'll fucking kill. it's a whole nother level when it comes to soccer and shit. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
outside of America, they take it to a whole nother level. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, I think that shit is spiritual. Like I honestly think that these at these mass games, there's spirits and demons being put out that just consume the people because this shit becomes their religion, their god.
Yeah, that's true. They're more faithful to sports than the Most High, and even though
Yeah,
they might claim that, you know, yo, it's deep, Ice, bro. Like it's really deep. Cause for example, there could be a nigga, right? The average nigga, a nigga can be like, let's use the average Christian nigga. You know, I read the Bible, but he's also a fan of basketball. He's gonna know sports stats more than the scriptures, and yet he's in
yep.
church every Sunday.
He in church every Sunday, but he watching the game 3 times a week religiously. He gonna tell you too. He'll use the term, "Oh, I watch my team religiously."
Yeah, man.
Niggas, man. Preachers.
You know what Freeport said that was interesting?
Yeah,
Like they take another level in Brazil. There's a YouTube channel. I think it's called This Is Ace Live, and he was saying that he was in one of those Latin. I don't know if it was Brazil, maybe it was Colombia, and he was at a bar or something like that, and there was a sport. He said he wasn't gonna say nothing. He just knew automatically, something just in him just said, because I don't think the nigga cares for soccer. If he said anything like that in front of a bunch of drunken Colombian niggas, like, you know, I don't care about soccer, them niggas will hang him.
They would.
They have
That's the
no
culture.
problem doing it. No problem. Say something about
They would.
Ronaldo to a nigga abroad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like, I think these stadiums are like they're like energy, bro. Because you gotta think,
Yeah.
thousands of people collectively together. They're taking all that energy and regurgitating it right back.
Yep. That's why I never went to concerts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getting the same demon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes I can't even blame the elites and the Jews for looking at them as goyim, because they are. I start to look at them to say it. I can't even blame the elites and Illuminati and shit. I can't blame Zionists. I get it now. They are a bunch of goyim. They are a bunch of sheep that need to be slaughtered. Like, I get it. Just don't put me in the same category with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Slaughter the goy.
Yeah.
They're animals, man. It's animalistic. Eat, shit, fuck, shop, be entertained.
Exactly.
That's it.
Like
it's
Garfield.
crazy. Those specific words you said was in it was in the end of a Drake song. I forgot which one was it. I think it was Furthest Thing. Those same exact words that you said. Minus, you know,
eat, sleep.
Yeah, like eat, sleep, you know, whatever. Like that's the life that niggas want to live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't get me started on Drake, man. That lack of vision, nigga. It's crazy to me, bro. It's crazy. A guy can have $100 million house on 2 acres. That and nobody. And then what's crazier is that nobody sees the fuckery in it. Niggas like, damn, man, I wish I could have that, bro. If you spend $100 million, I'm expecting you to be on at least 10,000 acres. Real talk, because that's what the white man would do. Land is everything. If a tornado or a bomb, if Hiroshima happens and they drop a fucking bomb on your property, you still own it. The house might be fucked up, but you still own the land. The land is always there. If a natural disaster, look at Katrina, completely destroyed New Orleans. All these buildings fucked up. But what do you see? Fucked up buildings on top of what? Land. So the land stays there. And a lot of black men need to understand the value of land and not just where you live. Like I said, me and my homie Born, we always got. We're actually both about to open up accounts in Canada, and because we trying to cop some land. It's not about having land where you may live. We might be in expensive places. Trying to get land in Boston is going to be expensive. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get in LA, but shit, going to Canada, you can get 100 acres for $15,000. And then you can put a mortgage on that. So it's only 20% of 15,000, and then you make your monthly payments for $70. That's pretty affordable when you look at it that way, because we'll save for other shit. And we can save $3,000 to buy a motorcycle and then spend $70 a month to pay it off. We should be able to do the same for 100 acres.
Exactly. Like, I think Kanye West bought some land out in Wyoming, and they were like, "Oh, that was crazy."
17,000 acres or something like that. And you know what niggas said? Why he need all that? I just, oh my God.
Yo, I seen that comment on Twitter, bro, and I
sent it to me.
Yeah, like it was crazy to me because it's like, why he need all that land? Niggas act like the earth is like one state, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of land to be bought. Now he's building like factories, Yeezy factories on his land.
That's vision.
Niggas about to make like another 2 or 3 more billion on his own land. You get what I'm saying? But niggas don't have that.
You know what though? And this is a drop also. Kanye versus Jay-Z. When Kanye first went to Jay-Z, Jay-Z tried to keep him from getting in the industry because he knew it was fucked up spiritually. But Kanye has always been more free, while Jay-Z operates like a Jew. He slithers behind the scenes to get favor. Kanye is not that way. But Kanye has surpassed Jay-Z, and he will surpass him financially. So when you are real and you speak your truth, and you are, the world may hate you, but that nigga still on 17,000 acres as a billionaire.
And he married a better woman. Most people don't they don't get that.
I forgot we were supposed to do that drop, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
No, he did. And this is a problem that most black dudes don't understand about, like, you know, like a Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, and this is the thing that I be upset when I hear black women. They be like, Kanye hates black women and blah blah blah. It's like, whatever. Like, you can feel that way all you want, but Kim Kardashian is a much more better equipped woman for a black man than black women.
Exactly.
I mean, we just have to be real. You get what I'm saying? What black woman is going to support a rich guy with a mental health disorder with 4 kids?
Facts.
Most black women would have took the kids and bailed. Real talk.
Facts.
She's been with this nigga since what, 2012? 8 years, bro. I mean, you could say she's staying for the money. Black women are not built for that. They're not built for anything long term. You get what I'm saying?
Damn.
You get what I'm saying? They're not. Most black women will tell Kanye he's crazy for getting like 10,000 acres. They'll tell him, why you need all that land? Kim Kardashian's like, nigga, go ahead. You get what I'm saying?
Get more.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because his vision is much bigger. You know, he's talking about becoming the next Walt Disney, or becoming like he's a creative genius. Whatever you want to say about him, he's a creative genius. You know, beyond music, you know, he has a vision. And
that's the problem with niggas, though. Niggas see him as the rapper still. That's the problem. He's transcended that, bro. I mean, if you look at like his clothing line, if you look at like the projects he got going, he's transcended. Kanye has like, he's become like he's factory level, bro, right now. He's not a rapper. Got merchandise, got all types of different stuff. You can't view a nigga like that, like Kanye West, the musician. You can't be like Jesus fucks Kanye. You can't say that's the same. You know what I'm saying? But that's the problem with society, bro. And this is something I noticed. Like once you get to a certain level, like you made it to like a certain level of achievement when people say they miss the old you. You get what I'm saying? When people say, "Man, I miss the old you," that means you're pretty much goated. You get what I'm saying? You don't have anything else to prove. If you died right now, you're solidified. You get what I'm saying? Because people like when Kendrick came out with "To Pimp a Butterfly," people wasn't saying I miss the old Kendrick because he was still hot. You get what I'm saying? But when you reach a point to where people feel like you've done enough, they're gonna start saying I miss the old you. You know?
That's
So
crazy, man. And you know, as I'm listening to what you were saying, I'm thinking to myself, this nigga has done more as far as being a creative genius than Michael Jackson.
Damn.
Because I was thinking, well, what did Michael Jackson really do besides sing in the studio, what the fuck he always does, and buy some masters? As far as the creative genius, back in the days, those designer shoes, they didn't make tennis shoes. They started making tennis shoes because of Kanye. All of them fucking companies, Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, they didn't make tennis shoes until Kanye came out with that design. And then he transformed the game. All those motherfuckers should cut him a check. But the problem is, we don't hold them accountable by speaking about. We don't see the value in Kanye. We don't see this man is truly greater than Michael Jackson. What did Michael Jackson do besides music? This guy revolutionized the game. He's the first nigga I know out here with 17,000 acres. Maybe Master P, Jay-Z, P. Diddy got it, but I don't think so. Them niggas in big ass mansions with no land. The first nigga to show you, look, let's get the land. And on another topic, as I was talking about what Born about, Kim Kardashian is the #1 woman on the planet. And not a nigga bitch on site can convince me otherwise.
Facts.
She's the #1.
What's interesting is she's gotten to the point where she's so comfortable as far as making money, she's going to be a lawyer. Most black women would get comfortable with that position, that reality star money and all that brand endorsement. They wouldn't go and settle down and be a lawyer. They wouldn't do that, bro.
She became.
You gotta know how to protect her family's interests more. And I can respect that. She adding value. Even when she has money, she has to add value in other ways that money doesn't necessarily work with. Continually adding value. More value than Oprah. Because Oprah got the money, but she ain't doing what the hell it takes to secure her family. She's making sure her family shit is straight. Let me get this legal shit down pat. Okay, we got the money. Now let's protect this shit. You just focus on your vision, Kanye. I'm gonna get the legalese shit handled. Kim Kardashian is the #1 bitch on the planet, bro.
Facts.
I'm telling you, there is not a better name. Attempt to name one, and I guarantee she gets shut down.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Nope.
You can't.
You can't.
They throw that stigma behind her because she made a video. How many women have made videos? Okay.
Right, especially with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And they broke. So we've seen Kim Kardashian fuck about 6 guys, all high value guys, which means that she knows how to get them. Yeah. And they all wanted to marry her. She had relationships. She wasn't a pump and dump to any of them. When you think about this, so we saw her with like 6, 7 guys who were all high quality guys, successful status, and that she knows how to attract high quality guys. She knows how to keep men. She left them. They didn't leave her. This is a good resume rather than a bitch with 30 niggas. They all 5 baby daddies and all this shit. None of them wanted to marry her. Kim actually has a better resume, but because they talk about that, she made a sex tape. See, this gonna have to be a drop, bro. It's gonna have to be a drop for real, man. Cause these niggas got the game messed up. Kim Kardashian is the #1 woman on the planet.
Facts. And I don't know if I'm saying his name, Juvie L. He's a Moor, I believe. He says Kim getting men out of prison, the succubus getting them thrown in. Exactly.
Man, that's
That's cold blooded right there.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's facts. She's doing political. Oh, see, I didn't even think about that. She might be trying to be a lawyer to actually do more as far as the black rights and getting black leaders taken out.
Mhm.
I didn't even think about that.
Exactly.
See, she adding value to the community, man.
She's doing more for the black community than the the nigger god.
Yo.
The nigga guy.
You know what's crazy about like the whole Kardashian family is people talk about how dysfunctional it is, but I mean, look at the black family in general. It's a bunch of Kardashians, but no vision, no value.
Right.
You get what I'm
And that's
saying?
actually a powerful family right there. Like I was talking about that the other day, man. Like if I had to have 3 wives or 4 or 5 wives, I'd take every last one of them Kardashian bitches, and I'll be good to go. That's all I would need. The mama, Courtney, all them bitches, and
Yeah, the mom's
I'll be a
hustler.
fucking trillionaire, bro. Just think about if you had multiple of those, 2 of them, just 2 of them,
Mhm.
Kim and Kylie, you're gonna be a billionaire.
Exactly. Should I take the
They
mom,
got
man? The
value.
mom, man. The mom is the hustler. She just ain't got, you know what I'm saying, the aesthetics, as a daughters, but she's the brains. She's the
Yeah,
boss bitch.
that mom is gold, bro. That
Yeah.
mom is gold. Like that. I mean, I used to like typically like most niggas, like, man, look at these athletes. They always get a Kardashian bunch of niggas. Now that I understand value and my mind is elevated, nigga, I'd get one too. Now, if it wasn't for all that witchcraft bullshit, the witch coven, that's a whole nother thing. But
Mm-hmm.
shit, as far as value, man, who's fucking with the Kardashians?
Exactly. I'll take some demon
Yeah, that's
pussy though, bro.
Yeah, that's fact. I'll be honest with you. I'll wife the mom.
Yeah. Facts.
I'll wife the mom.
That's wisdom right there.
you
Exactly.
know how much power you have if you wife the mom. That's you control that family as the man of the house.
Exactly.
Think about it.
Exactly.
You control Kim. You control all of because she's the headmaster. You get what I'm saying? No pun intended. But she's running that school of that family's business models. You get what I'm saying?
Yo,
Right.
I'll put it like this. That bitch is so bad that she transformed a fucking triathlete to a woman to compete.
That's fact. That's facts. That's a powerful woman, influential.
And this
That's cool.
And there's niggas who still place Nicki Minaj, Rihanna above them hoes, man.
Or Beyonce.
Or Beyonce don't have vision.
None whatsoever. Typical Virgo woman. They work hard, but no vision.
Yo, and I got one of them right now. Damn.
Why you wanna add stress to your life like that?
I don't know, bro. I'm just a glutton for punishment sometimes. Like shit. She's good with the numbers, man, but she's sometimes like, man, what the fuck?
Bro, I can do a whole drop on Virgo women, man. They are good when it comes to
Big Rich. Oh, I'm sorry. Big Rich said, can't you all see they destroy men? Bro, that's not the point, bro. The point is what they represent and what they bring to the table. You get what I'm saying? You can't see things from a person. You have to see things layered, bro. Like from a personal level, I wouldn't deal with them hoes. You get what I'm saying? But I can see what they bring to the table. You have to look at the quality of people that you would consider are your enemies. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, I don't like the fact that they break a lot of guys, but you can't tell me that there's a group of women on a planet who is conquering every industry. You can't tell me there's a mother out here like Kris Jenner is the greatest matriarch on earth right now. There's no matriarch that's topping her. You can't tell me. You can't.
Damn, this shit
No
is
matriarch is topping her.
this shit is
If
powerful.
men
Just
have
thinking
to be
about this
broken
shit.
so that they could show women how to have vision, so be it. It's a couple of niggas. Who cares? Most of them ain't Kanye
Facts.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
Facts. And they don't break men; they break males.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You was lead, yo, man. I'm telling you, you just sticking to the same.
they
Because
represent nothing,
with niggas
right?
like us, man, I'm
Mhm.
telling. Don't let me get that mom, bro. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
trying to run the Illuminati. And I did a drop about this when I was talking about the dude from the Cocaine Cowboys, the black dude who
Mhm.
ended up getting Griselda
Oh,
Blanca.
yeah, we was talking about that. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. Me and you were talking about that on the drop.
Yeah,
How he had the power, even though he was smaller in the game, because he had Griselda Blanca under his thumb. She had Pablo Escobar under his thumb.
Mm.
Therefore, he had the power over Pablo Escobar through her. So you got to look at power that way. You might not have the power directly, but you might have the mind of someone who does have the power. So if you have a Kris Jenner and you have her mind imprinted, you are one powerful man.
Mm-hmm.
Big Rich said they represent nothing, bring nothing to the table. See, you gotta deal with them nigga hoes, bro. Cause I'm sorry, bro. You can't deal with a woman of value because you don't see value, bro. They represent nothing. You think they're just a bunch of stupid hoes that have plastic surgery. That you believe that public facade, bro. That's what you believe. You don't believe they're tacticians. Think about the men. Think about the tactics they use to break those men. Think about it, bro. They conquer every industry.
Big Rich, a good brother though, man. It's just more so. It's just presenting a different perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On
Like
certain.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he doesn't. I just think he don't see. I don't think he sees value because the way we think, we're thinking in a perspective of powerful men. What traits can complement a powerful man? Traits from a powerful woman, and they are powerful women. You get what I'm saying? That's how they.
It's like when I say this. If I could talk to three people in the world, one of them would be Satan. And I'm an Israelite, brother. I believe in the Torah. I believe in the Most High. I believe in the scriptures. But I still see the value in talking to Satan. I'm not going to say, oh, because I'm a scripture believer that there's no value in talking to Satan and interviewing Satan. Shit, that would be a lie. That would mean I don't see value. Even though I have my own convictions and belief, there's still a lot you can learn from someone who has power, even if it's power on a way that you don't necessarily dwell in or you don't believe in. It's still power. And to learn that, it would be gold. Like if me, Ref, and Ice Turner all say she's the number one bitch on the planet, we're looking at it from a different standpoint. We're not looking at it like this the regular simpleton. Oh, she got ass and a wet throat, we'll fuck her. No. We're looking at if I have a product and I push this product, she has over 180 million followers. Her sister has over 100 million followers. Her other sister has 100 million followers. So if a woman magnifies whatever it is we present, she is a huge fucking magnification, a magnifying glass. Her magnifying glass is much bigger than the magnifying glass of any other woman on the planet. That's what we're saying. That if she's fulfilling her role under a man, as we know she will because we are men, her magnifying glass is much greater and her influence is much greater. So she can magnify what we would present to her. That's what we're saying. It's not, it's not really personally we're in love with her or some shit like that, but it's just the value she has as an asset.
Absolutely. It's just gotta look at it's always business. It's business, and just how you really you handle that type of situation. Like that right there is a manager's dream. To come across a woman like that. you know, you're gonna get shit done quicker. Look at the dude Travis Scott. Look where he basically ascended to.
Yeah.
You know,
Niggas the Lord on the earth, man.
Yeah.
McDonald's, nigga got a McDonald's sandwich, right? Or is it Burger King or something like that?
got McDonald's, got a fucking sneaker. Got a lot of shit going on. Just fucking with them. Shit. I'm on board. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get a play.
Facts.
Fuck.
If you got vision,
Yeah.
they the ones to feed it to.
Mhm.
Not Beyonce. Beyonce can't do shit but sing in the studio.
Exactly.
And this is the thing when it comes to the ability to see value.
Mhm.
You have to take your feelings out of it. Because if I be like, man, I don't like the fact Kim Kardashian got a sex tape, and she, like Professor used the example like about promoting something. Like, let's say I want to promote like this water I'm selling. Let's just use an example. If I be like, I don't like Kim Kardashian personally, but she got 100 million followers, and I'm like, she's a witch, and no, I'm not gonna deal with her. I'm a stupid businessman because she can give me the greatest access on earth.
Right.
Because it all comes down to the level of access that someone can grant you. You get what I'm saying?
Bingo.
There's not many women that can grant you access like Kim Kardashian. She's a lawyer. She has knowledge in different areas. What black woman alive right now has top knowledge in fashion, has top knowledge in lawyer, has top knowledge in law, has top knowledge in marketing, has top. I mean, I could go down the list. You get what I'm
top knowledge in occultism and rituals and dark magic.
Exactly.
She understands the spiritual, dark and light.
Exactly. Yo,
more than 99% of male and women on the planet. She knows the game.
Kim Kardashian knows the scriptures better than 99.9% of Christians.
Exactly.
And their pastors.
And get this. Yeah. And get this. If you look at the astrological aspect, she's a Libra.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a bitch.
So if you get her on your team, she's gonna be loyal to the vision, man. My mom's a Libra.
Oh,
they loyal to the vision, and they work hard.
It's almost like ideally that's my sign, but that's a woman I can rock with on a business tip because she gets it. You know. We kind of we do little shit like, all right, look, the way I look at it like this, like a lot of these guys, they get caught up if a woman slides and does a little whatever. As long as you do not mess up the money, you not mess up the business of what's going on, it is what it is. That's what the pat should be. I'm not messing up the business of what's going on. I'm gonna do me. You're probably gonna do you here and there. But do not mess up the money. This is what the other cultures understand about this. This is just happening. This is activity. Don't take it personal. It's not about you. You know, it's not because you're less or more, or whatever the case may be. This is just what I wanted to fucking do.
Facts. I talked about that this morning. How people get on Jada. Jada is not faithful, but she's loyal. And niggas want faithfulness more than they want loyalty, and that's feminine to me. that's actually effeminate to want faithfulness more than loyalty. That's because fancy. You're wanting protection of your ego more than the securing of your vision.
Exactly. And most of these guys, they don't even realize the chicks that slid on them. And look at Kim, for example. Look at Kim, right? Actually, they probably knew. They just, had to tuck it. But look at Kim, for example. They'd be like, oh, Kim's this. Kim's pussy made her family multimillionaires. You look at the nigger guy, bitch. Her pussy can't even get a nigga to fill up a gas tank.
That's facts.
You know what's the irony is everyone is trying to copy how Kim Kardashian got famous, through OnlyFans and stuff like that. But they're not using her blueprint because they don't have vision. They don't. So they only know the first step. Okay, I'm gonna show my pussy online, and maybe I could become famous. But those chicks don't have vision. The same
Nope.
year that sex tape dropped was the same year Keeping Up with the Kardashians came out.
Exactly. And she passed what's the chick named Paris Hilton?
Yeah,
Yes, she did, because Paris Hilton was that shit before her. And
Yep.
she
yeah,
just blew Paris Hilton ass out the water in every regard, like to the fact that we don't even think the bitch is the bitch alive?
yeah.
She
She
still
had a
is?
recent
Okay.
documentary. It was trending on YouTube. But the thing about Paris Hilton, I'm glad you guys brought that up. Paris Hilton is Kim Kardashian without vision.
Mm.
Because think about how big Paris was everywhere early 2000s. As a kid, bro, I knew about Paris Hilton. You know, some big titty commercial blonde chick. That's who I thought was, Paris Hilton. But then if you know it's Kim Kardashian, she and her family came with a different type of flavor. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So even though they was suburban, you get what I'm saying? They had certain urban aesthetics which gave them more access to the world than Paris Hilton would. Because I mean, let's face it,
That's a
blonde hair
drop.
and blue eyes is, it's considered the ideal, but it's not relatable. You get what I'm saying? More people relate to Kim Kardashian's aesthetic. You get what I'm saying? Because if you
That's
look
a
at
drop.
Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
she could look,
It drops. It just drops.
yeah. Every time men of high value talk, it's a drop. That's just how it is.
That's
But
a
like,
drop.
but Kim Kardashian, her look and aesthetic, you get what I'm saying? She can look like she's from. She could look like she's from Iraq. She could look like she's from the Middle East. She could look like she's Caucasian. So she has a multi-racial face, similar to The Rock.
Yep.
The Rock has a multi-racial face. So he has a comfortable aesthetic where he's comfortable, where white people are comfortable around him, black people are comfortable around him, Spanish people are comfortable around him. When you have that multi-racial kind of face where you can blend in multiple races, is going to grant you a wider audience, wider
Kanye is a
attention.
genius.
Yeah, exactly. You get what I'm saying? That's why Paris was blown out the water because, I mean, let's face it, by the 2000s, that hot white girl trend, no ass, but big titties and blonde hair, that stuff was dying out.
Yeah, it died out with Britney Spears.
Yeah, so when Kim Kardashian came, she came with a black body, but with a multiracial facial structure. You get what I'm saying? And it sells.
Yo, Kanye a hustler.
I fuck with Kylie. Like, I love some Kylie, bro. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah.
And my chick is Moroccan and Algerian, and she looks like Kim Kardashian. She gets that a lot. Like, oh, you look like Kim Kardashian. That's a very, anywhere we go, we get that sort of type of look. Like, a lot of people try to mimic the Kim Kardashian look too. When we talk about black woman, white woman, Brittany Bundles is another chick with value that most niggas don't see the value of, and she even mimics the
yeah.
She got value, bro. They don't see it though.
Kim Kardashian can't be categorized by race. If she didn't tell you what her nationality was, you could have all types of assumptions. That's what makes her so marketable. Because she's like ambiguous. You get what I'm saying? It's not clear cut.
She's got that Eastern, that Armenian. She's Armenian.
Yep.
But that's that look. Because at the end of the day, we're all aware that recessive is recessive and dominant is dominant. When you have dominant features, which is most of the world, meaning dark eyes, dark hair. When you look at Asia, it's mostly I've never seen an Asian with natural blonde hair. Most of their shit is dominant colored as well, as far as the hair and eyes go. So as you say, they are more relatable. They can fit in more places, and that's a whole nother drop in itself on why they are inferior and why their system is crumbling. More and more people are coming out with darker features, darker hair, darker eyes, mixed color skin, and they're being phased out. And
That's why they're trying to
this
blend it.
collapses. What is that?
That's why they're trying to blend in with us. That's why
Yeah,
they're trying to promote the interracial relationships and shit like that.
yeah.
I mean, look
But-
at the kids, the Kardashian kids. You can't even the kids you can't put in a category. You could say they're black. You could say they're from Mexico. You could say anything. You get what I'm saying? They also have an ambiguous look, you know, where it's not clear cut and defined. And what Freeport was saying, as far as like, you know, most people have dominant genes like black hair and stuff like that. That's even more added.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. Who has natural blonde hair that pop culture cares about so much anymore? Like, let's really think about it. Let's really
the
think
only
about
blonde bitch that has value that I would fuck with now is probably Ivanka Trump.
Yeah, she's a boss.
Yes, for sure. Most niggas won't even see the value, but Ivanka, I'll put a little nickel into her stomach, no cap.
Exactly. She's the only one. She's the only one that basically had Donald in check because she knew the business. He saw the vision. He couldn't keep up with it, so he just chucked it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's the president's daughter too. Man, she got help.
Oh wait, no, it's white. Oh, it's white. Oh, I was talking about the mom, but yeah,
the daughter.
Yo, the daughter's cold.
I like the daughter, man, and they all tall.
Yeah,
all tall. I think she's about 5'11", down there 6 feet. Donald Trump anywhere between 6'2", 6'4". So she's not a small, tiny bitch. You know, this is a tall woman. She's an assertive woman. She handles business. When Donald Trump's doing whatever, she's all around the world doing her little ambassador meetings and shit, handling business.
Exactly.
That's probably the only blonde bitch that I would, you know, even consider seeing value in.
That's the type of father-daughter relationship niggas should be having. Cause niggas be having that cuddly, hey, you know, I'm gonna come to your birthday. Like, no, like she gotta add to your vision too.
That's a job.
Yo,
that's a job right there.
Damn.
Cause in other cultures, right, in other cultures, the daughters can't be around just sitting around just being pretty. Like, no, like you gotta get on, you gotta get to work. Yeah. You gotta bring something to this family. Bring a nigga of value to the family.
And even the wives, like my homegirl Sana, she takes care of when her brother got married, and when they get married, the wives now can join into the family and take care of the family too. So you can't even marry, like, while the nigga bitch can just marry a dude and then sit at home and don't talk to his parents at all. Or I don't like your mom. Nah,
yeah,
bitch, you're coming into the compound. This is a compound. You know, we got 5-6 families in this yard right here. You're coming into this shit to help the whole family. You don't have that in the nigga family.
Hey, talk about was it black love and all this other bullshit, man. Like, come on, nigga, it's not black love, it's slavery.
Facts.
Man, black love don't even really exist because the people that's preaching it don't love themselves.
Oh,
they don't
drop. That's a drop right there.
Because think about it, bro. When you really love yourself, and again, I know everyone makes mistakes, but when you really love yourself, you're gonna operate differently. You feel me?
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, bro. If the black community, one of the solutions for the black community, if these chicks really had self-love, because again, you know, the topic of the live stream is about black females. If these chicks really love themselves, they choose better niggas. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on. They wouldn't be choosing niggas that entertain. This economy would collapse, truthfully, if black women switch. It'll drop tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It'll drop because all that entertainment, Korean nails, them niggas will go right back to Korea the next day because no one would buy. Like a lot of issues have to do with the females, you know, self-esteem, man. And they project that onto the men. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And this is the thing I hate about the manosphere. They think that by a guy being in his masculine frame, that it naturally makes a woman more feminine.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? I disagree with that notion. And the reason why I disagree with that is because she's already feminine to begin with. She's born that way.
Mm-hmm.
So her being toxic and stuff like that has more to do with her and how she feels about herself than you.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you know, balance does play a key. You can't be a suck ass nigga and not expect the female to challenge you. I'm not like we also got to be real, but at the same time, like the stuff these females be doing to these dudes out here, man, it's self-hate that they're projecting onto these niggas. Man, black men don't protect. You know, when I hear a female say black men aren't protectors, you know what goes in my mind? You are disrespecting your father, you're disrespecting your brother, you're disrespecting your thug cousins, you're disrespecting everyone in your circle. And then
including your God.
Facts.
yeah. Oh damn, that's a drop.
Damn.
You're actually blaspheming.
And that's the thing. They're blast. That's why I said majority of them will basically burn in hellfire. They're burning in hellfire right now because they're not protected. You know, I'm not protected. I don't feel safe. Because you know your actions, your behavior. You behave like little niggly bears.
They run from men that protect them. That's the stupid psychology with them, bro. They run from the men that challenge and protect them.
Yeah. Shit.
It's freaking sick, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'll leave.
He's gonna run from protectors and then complain, "Oh, these men can't protect." Like, come on, man.
So I don't entertain. I don't entertain anything they present to me. If it's something that I did not create in them, then it doesn't matter. That's not my responsibility.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, we as men, as a collective, like, we also have to, because this is something I also want to push in the manosphere too. Like, we also gotta love ourselves, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, we really gotta like love ourselves, man, because a lot of these guys that, you know, be on Sandman's channel, Coach Greg Adams' channel, oh, I'm divorced. Them niggas did not love themselves because those chicks took advantage of their lack of self-love. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they don't even realize it. They never reached the point of knowing themselves. They never knew themselves. Now they find some MGTOW community and they feel like, well, yeah, it's all them. But nah, you got to do the work too. That's why even though I go into MGTOW, I'm different than a lot of them because I teach niggas got to do the work. You have to, you know, I snapped on these niggas' heads this morning about not being able to see Kevin as suspect. That's a problem to me. You can't say, oh, well, these bitches ain't shit. Nigga, you can't even see that a man is gay. And she's supposed to respect you when she can.
Yeah. That's
like a man can tell when women are on their periods, but your other woman can't tell. Like, bitch, you a woman. You supposed to know this shit.
Exactly.
How the hell a man can't tell some shit like that? And yet they won't respect? It doesn't work that way. How is she going to look at you and feel that she has a protector and this nigga can't even tell somebody's gay? So if you have a son and you're sitting here talking to the teacher and this and that, you don't even realize the teacher is gay who's teaching your son.
Exactly.
Are you supposed to be a protector?
Exactly. And that's the thing with protection, bro. Like, protection, it comes in all sorts of forms: psychological, mental, spiritual. Like, there's different forms of protection too. And that's the thing that's like not being pushed, because like a lot of women will preach that men aren't protecting, but if Professor or ICE is giving, you know, chicks game on how to do things like this, you know, to better safeguard themselves, that's protection. You get what I'm saying? You talk to these niggas, don't be around there at this time of the night. That's protection. You know?
They don't want to hear that.
The Most
It
High
has
don't have
be
to
this
strike
against.
lightning from the sky to protect niggas. Just follow these commands. You get what I'm saying? Like,
They
That's
choose not to.
facts.
They choose not to listen. So by them choosing not to listen, you have to leave them, to roam the wilderness to eat sand, and hopefully one day they'll figure it out. I hope they do.
yeah, man, it's just a sad state we're in, like as a people, man.
Mhm.
Like it's
Wow. Hey, bro, that's why like when you elevate within yourself, you see it for what it is, and it's just like it's up to you if you choose to allow it in your space. I'm not gonna allow that in my space. I know what I like. I know what works for me. I know what's comfortable. I know the betterment of the vision, and if you don't really take heed to it, then you don't need to be here. Noah wasn't concerned what animal, what creature, or whatever hopped on the fucking boat. He built the boat, and like, okay, you're not getting on. All right, bitch, you drown in the sea of your own ignorance. Bye. Leave you in the
Just
ghetto.
wave and look at them as they drown.
Yeah, I laugh. Ha ha.
shoot. He probably didn't even have windows, so he could even wave if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Feel me? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. And this is the thing. I wanted to also say, a lot of guys, they have to get to a point of enjoying their own company. You get what I'm saying? Because when I look at some content creators, I'm like, you don't enjoy your own company. You don't enjoy your own company. You can't. I don't see you going on 1 to 2 mile walks and just enjoying the walk itself. Nah, you gotta plan for the next date. Like what pissed me off, bro, during this whole coronavirus thing is dudes is and a fellow content creator was showing me like what dudes was DMing him about how to get pussy during COVID. I swear to you, bro, I can make this stuff up.
Yeah.
How to get ass during, how to secure a date in the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I said, bro, like,
it's bad.
You guys are focused on securing a date, yet most businesses aren't even open. This is what's wrong with dudes these days, bro.
Playing and that between that and the video games and shit. You playing 2K with, you don't even have 2K in your bank at least. And it's not really just shunning. Like, look, you gotta basically have some type of discipline in your life. Really, I would say the most discipline is possible to securing your future, because these women, 2020 is easy to basically get some cheeks. It's not like how it was back in the day. Back in my day, I'm speaking like I'm older, but it was just like, it was a little bit more of a challenge. Now it's pretty much, if a woman has a woman has an itch, she's looking for someone to scratch. It's easy. It's easy to fall in some box. That should be the least of your concerns. It's pretty much given away easily.
The value of pussy is at an all-time low. It's on OnlyFans. It's porn. Like it's just at an all-time low. So it's like you guys are thirsting for something that's at an all-time low. It tells me there's something psychological that you need to work on.
Indeed.
They don't even. You know what's crazy? They don't even have like certain traits and skills that can like really, really help you. You get what I'm saying? Some of these chicks, this is gonna sound crazy, but some of these chicks, they might be searching for a guy who can appreciate them for their other talents, but those guys don't have the discernment. Like Freeport been preaching like all week, like as far as like this whole thing with discernment.
Hell yeah! When we look at Brittany Bundle, she's one. Niggas don't see her value because they stuck on the fact that she fucks some rappers. and she's outside the matrix. She woke. She actually has a personality. She's one of the only females on the Instagram that can actually make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of these bitches have no personality, bro. Even Kim
Facts.
doesn't have personality.
Yeah.
Kim K does not have personality, but she has asset.
Yeah.
So really, the order is the mom, whatever, Chris Kardashian,
Mm-hmm.
then Brittany Bundle. Now we're talking about a personality standpoint. Then you would have what's her name, Kim Kardashian, because Brittany has personality. That's something 99.9% of women don't have. She's outside the matrix. She thinks deeply. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she can also be an asset, not to the tune of 180 million followers, but she's the asset. She's the god of the nigger bitch, really. When we talk about, she's a lower tier. She's the Jesus of the nigger bitch. We say that because Beyonce's probably the god, and then Britney's the Jesus of it. So she has some connects. Now, don't get it fucked up. Britney will get your shit out there, your product out there, and she gonna hustle that shit. She's self-made too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you're talking about. Like niggas so caught up on the pussy, they don't see the value that the bitch can bring to the vision.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up because there's one word you said that stood out. It was personality. You get what I'm saying? Personality is marketable. You get what I'm saying? That's a marketable trait. Think about it like this. Let's say I was like a sociopath and I wanted to like manipulate for whatever, just to gain. Brittany would be a prime target. You get what I'm saying? Because she has the personality to make people want to move in a way that she wants to move. You get what I'm saying? Brittany knew when she was talking about, I slept with these rappers, I done did this, that it was going to go viral. Everyone in the MGTOW community made a video about that whole week. You get what I'm saying? So it goes to show you like personality is a very, very, very important trait to have. And like people were saying, not many chicks possess that trait. Real talk, bro. Once and me and Ice, we chopped it up. Once you get to a certain level as a thinking man, you start to realize how boring women are, bro. You really get to see how boring they are, bro.
They are. They're only burdens. They're only burdens because if you can find a woman that makes you laugh, you beat the fucking odds. Because 99%, like a big part of compatibility is the bitch funny. And I hate having a fake laugh to get, you know, when you want to fuck a bitch and you got a fake chuckle just to keep it smooth so you can get in the pussy. But for 99% of these bitches, they don't have any personality, not funny. I had to tell one bitch, don't send me none of these TikTok videos because I'm getting pissed because that's not my humor style. Like, she's over here sending me this shit laughing with emoji. I'm like, this shit is not funny. And she's not going to make the cut because of that. Like, you can't make the cut if you're not compatible on humor, bro. But these bitches are just dry. In fact, the ones who have the most personality are fucking dykes.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay.
That's a joke.
All right.
Yo,
Dice got the most personality.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy you say that because, like, and this might be a drop, and I don't want people to like take this the wrong way, but it explains why dudes be having deeper bonds with their homeboys than their wives. You get what I'm saying? Your homeboy is probably an asset to you. You get what I'm saying? He's not a burden, and you guys oftentimes share the same sense of humor. Genuinely, you get what I'm saying?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Think David and Jonathan's bond in the scriptures was deeper than any bond that David had with any of his wives. Let that sink in, bro.
Yeah, it's little the funny stuff. Like my boy, he's married. He said he got with his one chick, and she got my ice cream cake. So he left it in the fridge. So that his daughter and his wife was eating ice cream cake that his side bitch then got for him. It's like a little inside joke. It's kind of funny though.
Wait, what happened next?
What? Nah, his wife and his daughter was eating the ice cream cake that his side bitch got him.
That's fucked up. They over here licking the icing off the fingers and shit, tearing that motherfucker up. That's fucked up. You know what's real about what you were saying, Ref, is that when you look at the shit, if it wasn't for pussy, like Patrice O'Neal, I posted this shit over and over. He said, if your pussy broke in an accident and you couldn't have it anymore, or you lost your pussy, how would you keep a man past the first 2 months? And the other bitches, the only thing they said was 2 answers: pussy, ass, and head. That's all they can think about.
Damn.
And I've asked women this in my personal life, I sent it to them, because I'm always sending red pills to bitches when they start to get cocky and think that they got some knowledge. I said, okay, I got something for your ass. I like to send red pills to humble a bit. So I sent this. What would you do if you lost your pussy? Oh, I can't even think about that. I'd probably kill myself, because that's their fucking asset. That's their fucking asset, pussy. If it wasn't for pussy, most guys would not be married to women, because really, after you get those first 2 nuts, if we're gonna be real, after the first 2 cream pies, the raw nuts, because you'll fuck a bitch 5, 6 times and it don't really hit until you fuck her raw. But after you fuck the bitch raw twice, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
she done with.
Yo, that's real.
Damn.
That's real shit. That's real.
Yeah, because you'll wine and dine and all that shit. Like, you cool because it's like you got the pussy, but you didn't get to hit it raw. You didn't get to bust it a bit. Once you do that twice, that's going to tell you whether your relationship is going to last. When you cream pie that bitch 2 times, after that, it's like, okay, shit, I done had the most I can get out of this bitch. Is there something that's going to sustain this or not? And more than likely, it's not.
No.
Man, and that's why like it's dangerous that more and more guys is on the semen retention wave. It is dangerous because guys is like, man, I feel like I'm revitalized. Like, I don't even want pussy. You get what I'm saying? So like that semen retention trend is like really growing. You know, on YouTube.
Plus, it's like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, like it's growing on YouTube, and like I always use these examples because what did I tell you earlier? Oh yeah, that story about the IG live thing. She can bring love. In America, most women don't even have asset traits. At least if you go elsewhere, they might have some, you know, traits that make them asses. But here, what can they offer? Nothing.
Exactly. Their love is not beneficial and it's selfish. They don't love. Like, the only love that a woman can give you is the love that you put in her for you. That's it. They don't understand love. They understood love, that the behavior would be entirely different. You know?
That's true.
You know?
What makes it fucked up is that, as I spoke about in the drop, and I said, our prostitutes, the red pillars, again, the ones of personality are dykes. The ones that are better assets are whores.
Yep.
Or hoes. I should not hoes, but bitches that strip, sell pussy, and this and that, and manipulate men for money. They got more personality and are better assets and better helpmates. See, that's a drop.
Yeah.
Hoes are better helpmates than fucking wives, bro.
Yeah.
And bitches don't want to realize this shit, because a wife is a burden. But a hoe is not going to be a burden to you. She's going to be an asset 99% of the time.
Yeah, that's true, because the prostitutes and stuff like that, they bring something tangible to the table. That's what the girl wasn't getting on the IG live. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an answer a typical chick would give. But a chick who's like an escort, you know, she could bring money to the table. She could bring connections. Like, I did the.
You bring knowledge.
Yeah, that's true too. the interview I did with Renzo, hella red pills, bro. A
Mhm.
dude like Renzo, think about it like this: Renzo could have been a millionaire, or he could have did porn, right?
Mhm.
If he had a millionaire, he wouldn't have access to a billionaire, right? But because he did porn, he had the connections to have a conversation with a billionaire.
Mm.
Think about it, bro.
That's true.
Like it's crazy, bro. But most people would be like, Renzo, the millionaire, has more value than Renzo, the porn star. You get what I'm saying? But Renzo, the former porn star, had more access than Renzo, the millionaire.
Yep,
You get
I did a drop
that's
on that calling drop the dark side networking versus light side networking, in which I said if you wanted to get information or a deal from a mayor, let's say you have a business that you want to get pushed and you need to speak to this mayor, you're better off getting a bitch to get him at a swingers club where he's going to be at rather than trying to meet him at a council meeting. Because at the swinger club, the bitch that's manipulating him, feeding the information you told her to, that's an example of a dark side asset. She's meeting him in the dark side, which he has to be more influential. She can influence him more because there's more risk. He has to pay attention because if she disregards, she can always say, "Well, motherfucker, I saw you here and there." So now he sort of has to respect her a little more just because she's in that avenue.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Monica Lewinsky went from a regular chick to having some of the most power, some of the most power that most women will never experience by associating with Bill Clinton, because she was his dark side. You get what I'm saying?
She
I don't
had
know if you,
information that most presidents didn't even have.
yeah,
She had
exactly.
information that only president and the current leader that he was talking to had. So if Bill Clinton's talking to the president of Iran, then he gets up and talks to the president of Russia, then hangs up and talks to the president of China. Those other presidents only heard their conversation. They didn't hear the other conversation. That bitch heard all of them.
Yeah, that's true. And yet everyone's like, man, she's a whore. She brings nothing to the table. Man, it goes to show you, man. A lot of guys they don't have an expansive mindset. You know, no
Nope.
disrespect to the guy earlier, but to say Kim Kardashian has no value, I went in because I find it disrespectful.
It is, because especially considering she has more value than every nigga in the manosphere, including me. On that level, on the inside the matrix level, she has more value than all of us.
That's
That's
true.
disrespect to value. 188 million. Okay, you sell a water bottle $1 each, and one customer buy from each one of her fans. Buy one bottle. That's 188 million sales. That's fucking value. You can't disregard. And then it's women who are consumers. She can push a product. Kylie Jenner is a fucking billionaire based off pushing a product to women. That's fucking value to become a billionaire based off that.
It is. Even if let's say Kim Kardashian promotes your product and only 1 or 2% of her audience on Instagram uses it, that's still 1.8 million people that bought.
Right. Right.
Even if it's just a small percentage, you know, that's why I was offended on multiple levels, because one, the value's obvious, you know, and it was disrespectful to my intelligence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
Because
is. It is. Because like if you like you're stupid for seeing value in her.
yeah, and my explanations of how I was seeing value were valid. I understand people have different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? You could say I don't like this person, but to say they don't have value is just disrespectful. It's disrespectful to all the men on the panel. You get what I'm saying? Because
That's
I
fact.
started from a business perspective. Freeport started from an access perspective, and I started a little bit of both. You get what I'm saying?
That's facts. And this goes back to that drop I talked about before. People confusing sentimental value with value. And that's not the case. How you feel about somebody doesn't have shit to do with their value. You know what I'm saying? It's people have to understand that. Value is value in any language. Gold is value. A kilo of gold is value in every country. That doesn't, you might not like gold. You might like silver. That doesn't mean that the shit doesn't have value. You can hate gold. You can be allergic to gold. Every time you get near gold or touch it, your skin breaks out. So of course you're not going to fuck with it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. That doesn't mean if I don't see it, if I see it on the ground and we say, oh, I'm not going to fuck with that because it makes my skin mess up. I'm just going to put on some gloves and go sell that shit because it has value.
Yeah, a lot of people won't see like why you like Pablo Escobar and Hitler so much. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, my favorite two heathens.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, even though they're diabolical and evil to most people, you're able to transcend. You're able to transcend that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can't see the value, man. Even with Pablo, I made the post like a couple of weeks ago. It never occurred to anybody that Pablo was one of the first billionaires to be independent of the Illuminati and not have to do rituals and all that shit. Think about that. How many billionaires in this world, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, how many of these motherfuckers, 100 millionaires, powerful men, status, the whole world knows them. They have fame, they have money, cars, all that shit. And they are independent of the Illuminati? I can't think of one.
Yeah.
But yet when we talk about Pablo, we don't see the true value because we're not thinking about it on that standpoint. We're not thinking about it as he was truly one of the most sovereign people of our days. And then that goes back to what we said before. The nigga who was fucking Griselda had more power over Pablo because of his relationship to Griselda. Because he saw the value when nobody else saw the value in her.
Exactly.
But gentlemen, it's been a good one. I'm going to have to depart.
Indeed. It's been a blessing, man. This is definitely a classic of classics right here. This has to be one of my personal favorites.
Me too, man.
I definitely, man. There's so much layers to this drop, man. It might take 5 years before people grasp the first hour. You feel me? Exactly. So, you know, I definitely like, you know, hopping on your streams, Ice, and you know, I'm happy you got StreamYard, man. I'm happy as hell, cause like I was on the last stream with you. It was me, Rich Authority, you, and Talk. And I thought that was a great one too. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you guys for having me on here.
Hey man, thanks for having me on here, brother. Until next time. I think we got a lot of drops that we can flickerate next time we get on this bad boy. And I look forward to it, man. Thanks for the peace in the channel. Thanks for having me on, Ice.
Indeed. Blessings to y'all, man. Blessings to just hey man. It's good to have y'all part of this thing, man. Is, you know, just the knowledge passed on. You know, we you know, this right here is definitely going to be a think piece. I think this is Thinker's Digest 2.0.
Yeah.
You know, already.
And we did say that though.
Yeah, somebody
said before we gotta have Ref on here too. We were saying that before. Me, you, and Ref gotta have you on that shit.
You see how it works? Yeah. This is that higher level thing, and it's dope. You know what's dope about it? It got some likes, but I see already it's got 11 dislikes, man. I'm fucking hyped about that shit.
Oh boy,
we pissed some sisters off, man.
Because they listened to the title, they didn't listen to the content. You know, exactly. I've had videos where I posted and then people listen to 30 seconds of it, because like for example, I can make a video saying, you know, MGTOW, a lot of MGTOW red pill dudes are simps, and then people listen to the first 30 seconds, dislike, oh, you're wrong about this, that. And then my thorough explanation within 5 minutes covered and explained why some of them was. I didn't say all, but it triggered so many people in just 30 seconds. You know, people don't have a large attention span anymore. So that's just the culture as of now. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you for having me on, Ice. And we gotta do more, man.
Indeed, man. You know, it's
And
only
let me say something, Big Rich, man. I ain't trying to be disrespectful to you, nor disrespect anybody on your panel. But it's like I said, we were talking about before. Just men have to check shit that might come off sounding a certain way, just so you can see the error in it, or why, or another perspective to it. Not even to say an error.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if we sitting down at the round table and we talking about women of value, and then somebody say, man, she ain't got no value, we gonna have to look at them, and from that moment on,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost gonna be like an outsider to the round table,
Mm-hmm.
which sort of limits the amount of information. You know what I'm saying? And it's just trying to give a perspective on why we see value. Like, I can look at somebody and say, this talking about Kevin Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a video with Kevin Samuels smashed on this bitch.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, right before I started the whole he's suspect rant. Just 2-3 days ago, I posted a video like, look how he smashed on this bitch and her delusional ass talking about Janae. And so I can see the value in that and still say, okay, this nigga's suspect. Like, you have to be able to see niggas at what within context of what it is you're viewing as valuable. If I'm viewing as valuable as he just destroyed this delusional ass bitch's mind, well, he did that. In that standpoint, he was valuable. If I'm talking about the context of masculinity needs to be heterosexual, well, now I gotta jump down on him because that's suspect. You know what I'm saying? So there's layers, as Ref said, it's layered thinking, and that's what we try to teach brothers. And it's not to be disrespectful. It's just iron sharpening iron.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, sometimes niggas say shit harsh, but it's with good intentions to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all basically to improve our perspectives. You know, overall, it's not so much we're attacking each other or challenging each other in a sense, but it's more so it's just the issue at hand. You know, I might say something, you know, that could be crazy, and you know, just like, you know, the gentleman on the panel, just like anyone in the you know what I'm saying, the chat can challenge, like, yo, wait a minute, Ice, what type of shit is you on? You know, and then it's the challenge to basically to create the change, to look at things differently, to look at things, you know, multi-layered, you know, as Freeport said, you know, to, you know, reach a better place of understanding and understanding.
Exactly. All in the name of growth, man. Well, as I said, man, thanks for having them on. I can't wait to do another episode with you brothers. Cause this shit fire. I think we're gonna have to drop on that topic a little bit more on what makes a woman of value.
Exactly. Definitely. As far as what makes her an asset, you know, what should she bring to you, and what, you know, what you can create in her to bring to you, and, you know, so forth.
Exactly. But it was a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody in the panel. You guys be easy, man. Be blessed. All right, bro?
You too. Y'all stay blessed.